What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. 4 Chapter 76 test begins, it's Chief Sumo Su. So excited. So excited. I finally see Senior Su again. When I saw his appearance outside the school gate, I couldn't forget it. Woohoo, he's so handsome and good looking. Yes. Senior Su's appearance really hits my spot, he's my ideal type. You bunch of crazy girls only care about appearance. Chief Su's talent is what makes people admire him. I am proud that Chief Su is the top student of our class. He has just entered school and has been promoted to the silver level. He is definitely the strongest top student in history. Shish. Keep your voice down. Don't let the seniors hear you. Don't compare yourself to others in this kind of situation. There will be a rhythm. I'm telling the truth, there's nothing I can't say. Well, I also think that Senior Su is the most talented top student. As Cheng Wushang finished speaking, the freshmen immediately noticed Sumo and shouted excitedly. Most of the freshmen actually care more about the existence of their peers than the news about the seniors. In the past few days, Sumo's pervert record has undoubtedly completely convinced them. Therefore, at this moment, compared with those senior celebrities, Sumo is the one they admire more. As soon as Sumo showed up, the group of freshmen went wild. Is he Sumo? At this moment, hearing the exclamations of the freshmen, those influential figures in their sophomores, juniors and even seniors all looked at Sumo curiously. In addition to curiosity, there was also a hint of scrutiny in their eyes. They also watched Sumo's record of fighting against the monsters, and some people were even there at the time. Although they were very unconvinced, they had to admit that they were indeed not as strong as Sumo when they first entered school. Many people looked at Ji Yu-chen quietly. This is the current top student of Magic City University. I'm afraid he couldn't compare to him when he first entered the school, right? Seniors are sitting in the front row. Shangguan Xinghong looked at Sumo proudly and grinned. You are worthy of being my brother. You really are the most beautiful one. As he said this, he turned his head and looked at Ji Yu-chen who was sitting next to him with a teasing look in his eyes. How is it, are you feeling stressed? Advertisement before Ji Yu-chen could reply, a charming woman sitting next to Ji Yu-chen covered her mouth and laughed. That handsome boy is really amazing. I have to admit that he is very talented, but if he wants to catch up with the captain, he has to wait until he graduates, and then he can compete with the captain in the Demon Suppression 9 army. But by then, the captain may be his superior again. Hearing this, Shangguan Xinghong's lips curled up slightly. He reached Black Iron 6 stars in half a month, and was promoted to Silver Realm in nearly a month. With such a speed of cultivation plus that terrifying combat power, I, the brother-in-law, am ashamed of myself. The pressure is very great. The words fell. Ji Yu-chen, who was looking at Sumo, smiled faintly. Even you said so, it is indeed a bit stressful. Having said that, there was still an indescribable confidence in the young man's eyes, and it was not deliberate. Rather, it is the self-confidence that emanates from one's bones, the heart of a strong man who maintains unparalleled confidence in himself from beginning to end. Looking at the slight smile on Ji Yu-chen's face, Shangguan Xinghong curled her lips. He knew that this guy would not be easily discouraged, and his state of mind was terrifyingly indifferent. In the corridor where freshmen sat, Sumo walked calmly towards Chen Darong and the other person. Even when being stared at with fierce gazes by those elite students in the senior grades, he seemed to be calm and composed. Because compared to the gazes of extraordinary powerful people like Feng Xiaoyao, these gazes are simply too childish. Want to scare him? Believe it or not, Su can turn around and become a conqueror? Soon, Sumo came to the seat next to Chen Darong and the other student. The male student sitting next to Chen Darong immediately stood up respectfully and made a gesture of invitation. Senior Su, please sit down. His eyes were full of admiration. Sumo smiled and said, thank you. Suddenly, the male student almost fainted and looked flattered. He was actually thanked by Senior Su. How happy. For a moment, the freshmen nearby all cast admiring glances at him, and the girls looked infatuated with him. Senior Su is so down to earth that he doesn't sit in the honorable seat at the head, but comes here to sit with the ordinary students. Even though it was his C-level friend who was here, he was so down to earth. He doesn't act like a chief student at all. I love it. After sitting down, Sumo started chatting with Chen Darong. Advertisement just at this moment, on the podium of the playground hall, an old man suddenly appeared. He had white hair and a youthful face, and his complexion was full. He did not look old at all. With his appearance, the spiritual energy in the playground hall obviously underwent some changes. Just like Feng Xiaoyao changes the wind direction of the surrounding heaven and earth. Of course, only some Diamond Realm teachers, a few senior special recruits and people like Sumo who possess the Haki of observation can discover such subtle changes. It is very mysterious. This person is none other than the Vice President of Magic City University, Yin Zhan, who is also an extraordinary and powerful person, a very ordinary name. But in fact, the legendary story of this vice president is much longer and more exciting than Feng Xiaoyao's. When he was young, he was a hero who fought against monsters and was considered a veteran. Yin Zhan's old face was filled with kindness at this time. Classmates, time flies. Are you happy to be home? Happy. Almost all the sophomores, juniors and seniors disliked this amiable vice president, and they all responded with a smile. The vice principal's usual image is that of a kind old grandfather next door. He gets along well with almost all the students. Compared to Feng Xiaoyao's mysterious image, they still prefer this vice principal. After Yin Zhan exchanged a few more pleasantries, he immediately officially began the opening ceremony. 2 hours later, the opening ceremony ended. That's right, the opening ceremony is that simple, not complicated at all. At this time, I saw a group of freshmen still sitting in their seats and looking at me reluctantly. Su Mo stood up with a smile and looked at the row at the head. All special students stay. Li Tianyi and other special recruits who were about to get up and leave looked at Su Mo with confusion. Come with me. Without further explanation, Su Mo finished speaking and took Cheng Wushang and the other person out of the passage. Marong Zi and others looked at each other, but still followed Su Mo's pace. After a while, in a martial arts arena, Su Mo looked at the puzzled crowd and said with a smile, I think you should have known that the freshman competition will be held next week, right? Well, I am the person in charge of the quota this time. I am in charge of selecting the 10 places. Half a month has passed. I hope you will not let me down. The words fell. Li Tianyi and other special recruits were all startled and looked at Su Mo blankly. Su Mo is the person in charge of this quota? Chapter 77. Come on, attack me with all your strength. This freshman competition is related to the early stage resources for a school's freshmen, so the issue of places is important. It is absolutely of utmost importance. After all, it represents the reputation of a school. Their special recruitment teacher only learned a few days ago that the freshman competition would be held in advance. Regarding the quota selection plan, I don't know yet. Unexpectedly, there was no big plan at all, and it was quietly handed over to Su Mo alone. In other words, the school completely trusted Su Mo and chose him to decide who would get the quota without notifying anyone else. The power is too great. Subconsciously, the group of special recruits looked at Su Mo and suddenly became nervous. It's like a student seeing his teacher. The test is simple. Let me see your strength and make a comprehensive consideration of many aspects. Finally, I will decide the remaining 9 out of the 18 of you. Perform well. After saying that, Su Mo looked at the group of special recruits who suddenly became a little reserved, and suddenly smiled and said, by the way, I will test you. The words fell. All the specially recruited students present, including Cheng Wushang, shuddered all over. Su Mo comes to test. Damn it, they have not yet gotten over the shadow cast by this player in the last friendly match. Now that he has been promoted to the Silver Realm, isn't he even more terrifying? I used one move last time, and now I don't know if I can hold out for half a move. Several recently recruited special students saw the dozen or so trembling people, and then recalled the scene where Su Mo fought the monster. Suddenly, the tiger's body also shook, and his expression began to become uneasy. He started to panic after being tested by such a ruthless person. Wow! Senior Su called these special recruits to gather together. Is he going to have a competition? I'm so excited. At this time, some freshmen also came to the martial arts hall out of curiosity, with excitement on their faces. After all, the fact that Su Mo and others came to the martial arts hall for the competition was not concealed, and there was no rule that they were not allowed to watch. Out of admiration, they naturally followed. Even some senior students who had been paying attention to Su Mo came out of curiosity. Advertisement among them, Shangguan Feiyan and Yi Xiaoshui brought another wave of LSP, and there were even more people. Then, as word spread from person to person, even the big names in their junior and senior years came to watch with great interest. Of course, the person they wanted to know most was the chief student Su Mo, who made them very dissatisfied. Just like that, Shangguan Xinghong walked over to Su Mo after entering the martial arts arena and hooked his arm around his shoulder. My little brother-in-law, you and your elder brother-in-law fulfilled the agreement very well, and you really became the most beautiful one. Very good. It's a pity that your brother-in-law didn't become the most beautiful one. Alas. Not to mention that Ji Yu Chen stole the limelight, but also a masked man who suddenly appeared stole the limelight. That really d me off. Su Mo was silent. He really wanted to say to Shangguan Xinghong, I am really happy to be blamed for robbing you. But if he said this, I'm afraid the brother-in-law would challenge him to a duel on the spot, right? Ahem, low-key. After being slightly angry for a while, Shangguan Xinghong soon revealed a cynical smile again. By the way, brother-in-law, what are you doing now? Are you going to have another friendly match? You are too bullying. Li Tianyi and others standing by were angry but dared not say anything. Although what Senior Shangguan said was true, it was still hurtful to look down on them like this. Sumo Kaido. The principal has entrusted me with the responsibility of selecting the candidates for this freshman competition. Now let me give you a small test. Shangguan Xinghong was stunned when she heard this, and then she gave Sumo a thumbs up. My brother-in-law is promising. Brother, suddenly, a faint and ethereal voice came from behind him. Shangguan Feiyan grabbed his ear and pulled him back to the viewing seat. The beauty turned around and looked at Sumo, and said softly, Junior brother, you go about your business, come on. Soon, the news that Sumo was going to screen the places for the freshman competition spread among the spectators. Everyone secretly sighed at the school's emphasis on him, and at the same time, they couldn't help but start to look forward to it. After all, this is the face of their magic city, and the sophomores, juniors, and seniors who have experienced it naturally know its importance. After a while, even the special recruitment teachers came. Except for Yan Yun, who was still on his way back, the other special recruitment teachers arrived one after another. They hadn't seen each other for half a month. Teacher Zhuang and others who had organized the friendly match last time looked at Sumo at this moment, and they couldn't help but show emotion on their faces. Promoted from Black Iron 6-star to Silver Realm in half a month. The principal really has good vision, advertisement. Moreover, they were not informed about the quota matters, leaving it entirely to Sumo to screen the places, which showed absolute trust. Now even these specially recruited teachers dare not offend Sumo easily. Of course, they would not offend Sumo. They were so happy that such a great figure had emerged from the Magic City University. As teachers at Shanghai University, they are definitely proud of it. It seems that the dual-powered genius from Taikyo University is not under so much pressure now. Center of the venue. Li Tianyi and others were a little nervous being watched by so many people. After all, compared to last time, there are more people coming this time, and many influential seniors and juniors have arrived at the scene. When I thought about being abused by Sumo and being watched by so many people, I would be nervous. Sumo frowned slightly when he saw this. Are you nervous at this moment? Then when the freshman competition held by all mankind comes, won't you be unable to stand? Disappointment, you've disappointed me before the test even starts, you're really something. The words fell. Li Tianyi and others couldn't help but clench their fists. Although Sumo is much better than them, it still feels a bit uncomfortable to be said like this by a peer. Soon, they took a deep breath, relaxed, and looked at Sumo with fighting spirit. Nodding, Sumo's lips curled up slightly. Not bad, you adjusted pretty quickly. Okay, next you don't have to think about whether you can defeat me, just do your best to attack me together. Remember, attack without reservation. I will observe your comprehensive strength one by one. Murong Zi's pretty face immediately showed a trace of astonishment. Sumo, you want us 18 people to come together? All the special admission students were also stunned, as they thought they were being tested one by one. They actually want them to come together? It's a bit underestimated? Among the crowd, only Cheng Wushang said with a serious face, Brother Mo is very kind to let us fight together. If you don't want to be too embarrassed, just show your strength honestly, otherwise you will definitely be killed instantly. He knows Sumo's true strength. Brother Mo, who could shake the earth with just 3 punches and 2 kicks and crush a third-level monster to death, is so G terrifying. Roar, thinking of this, Cheng Wushang suddenly transformed into a mad blood golden lion, revealing his golden haki body with blood patterns. The aura of Black Iron 6-star was surging in his body. That's right, after the life and death experience in the Monster Tide, Cheng Wushang was recently promoted from Black Iron 5-star to 6-star. Among the specially recruited students, he is definitely the second best after Brother Mo. Chapter 78. With this level, do you want to embarrass Modu University? On the side, Li Tianyi and Murong Zi suddenly turned their heads to look at Cheng Wushang. They were stunned at first, and then exclaimed, Black Iron 6 stars. If they remembered correctly, half a month ago, Cheng Wushang was on par with the two of them, and was a Black Iron 4-star. Even during the Monster Tide, they were only Black Iron 5 stars, but by that time, they had already been promoted to 5 stars. How come in just a few days, not to mention Sumo the pervert, even Cheng Wushang has surpassed them? In the past few days, they have digested the experience of fighting in the Monster Tide, and their cultivation has exceeded half of the 5-star level. But compared with Cheng Wushang's promotion to Black Iron 6 stars, it's still a little bit behind. Them being surpassed by Cheng Wushang, the two men's expressions immediately turned into unwillingness. If Sumo's talent made the two of them despair, then he was surpassed by Cheng Wushang, who was originally of similar talent. That means unwillingness and reluctance to accept. In the audience, the students and special recruitment teachers who watched the last friendly match also showed shocked expressions. Junior brother Cheng has actually been promoted to Black Iron 6-star. Although he is not as perverted as junior brother Su, he is also very talented. The Mad Blood Golden Lion is indeed so terrifying. He is indeed one of the strongest talents in animal transformation. My S-level Scarlet Blood Holy Eagle is still a little bit inferior to this junior. I really want to recruit him into our team. Don't worry about it. This junior is inseparable from Junior Su. It is very likely that he has been recruited into the team by Junior Su. Alas, another incredible evildoer, in a small group of specially recruited teachers. The teacher who specially recruited Cheng Wushang smiled proudly and said, during this period, Wushang followed Sumo to fight in the wild and gain experience. He even performed exceptionally bravely during the Monster Tide. Coupled with his talent and tenacious will, it is normal for him to be promoted to Black Iron 6-star. Although he said so, he couldn't conceal the smug tone in his voice. He specially recruited Cheng Wushang, and he was naturally happy about the former's outstanding performance. The person who had the most complicated feelings at this moment was Teacher Zhuang. It was okay that he could not compare with Yan Yun. Now I can't even compare to this guy, I feel so uncomfortable. Center of the battlefield. After their initial reluctance, Li Tianyi and Murong Zi immediately entered combat mode. Although I am very unwilling, at the moment, The quota is still important. The other special recruits also came to their senses, looked at Sumo solemnly, and displayed their own special abilities. Suddenly, a powerful aura emerged. Advertisement. Yang Zhang's Demon Arm. Yu Chang's Instant Acceleration. There is also Ning Kiki's S-level special healing ability, Paradise of Life. Although her combat power is not strong, if she keeps blessing herself, she will definitely be the most durable in the field. The next moment, 18 specially recruited students immediately rushed towards Sumo. Brother Mo, here I come. Cheng Wushang roared, and with the thunder movement, he was the first to rush to Sumo like a bolt of lightning mixed with golden light. The extremely sharp claws immediately slapped Sumo's head hard. Good speed. With a light laugh, Sumo simply raised his palm, skillfully placed it on Cheng Wushang's palm, and then exerted force. Bang! Cheng Wushang's entire lion arm was shaken to the side, and his entire body flew backwards and fell to the ground. At this moment, Li Tianyi, carrying the Golden Thunder, and Mirong Zi's strange body skills, immediately approached closely. The two men were on the left and the other on the right, using thunder fists and sword slashes. The purple absolute zero cold air continued to spread towards Sumo. In the hidden place of the cold air, a sword tip with a cold glow quickly stabbed towards him. They learned their lesson and would never attack Sumo head-on. Instead, they would attack from both sides and retreat if they failed. The terrifying space exploded, and the two of them didn't want to try it at all. However, Sumo still had a faint smile on his face, and his body moved back strangely, extremely graceful, like a breeze. Then, he took another step forward and kicked Li Tianyi and Mirong Zi away with a sweeping kick. That casual action shocked the teachers and students in the audience. This scene also made the special recruits who were about to attack stop in their tracks. They are all cowards. Seeing this, Cheng Wushang cursed loudly and then rushed towards Sumo again. In midair, his claws slapped down again. Sumo frowned. Takeo, your attack route is 2. Roar! Before he could finish his words, Cheng Wushang in midair roared, and a terrifying sound wave hit Sumo. The sudden roar actually made Sumo slightly stunned. Just as Sumo was stunned for a moment by the roar, Cheng Wushang's domineering body churned. The tail, which looked like a golden iron whip, lashed directly towards Sumo's face. Cheng Wushang was overjoyed, but the next moment, a hint of fear appeared on his lion face. Sumo smiled strangely, and a big footprint was kicked on his lion's face. Bang! Advertisement. So, this guy flew out again. But at this moment, looking at Cheng Wushang, Sumo was delighted in his heart. The pervert performance of his little brother just now would have caught a normal Silver Realm awakener. In other words, he has the ability to see and hear, so he can react even when he is stunned. This guy, during the time I was away, seemed to have worked hard to hone his fighting skills. Sumo thought with relief, then his expression turned cold, and he looked at the special recruits who dared not move. Don't you want the quota? The words fell. The faces of this group of special recruits changed drastically. They no longer hesitated and rushed forward with gritted teeth. Yu Chang held the sword in his hand, accelerated in an instant and got close to Sumo, slashing fiercely with the sword, but was still kicked away. Ning Kiki, the pretty little girl, also added the power of Paradise of Life to her body, and came over with a long sword in hand, and then, with a cry, she was kicked in the chest by Sumo, a straight man, and her smaller body flew out on the spot. This scene made many of Sumo's crazy fans tremble with fear, but the next moment, they became even more obsessed. Lord Sumo, who has a bit of straight male attributes, is also so handsome, I want to be kicked. Next, a strange scene appeared. No matter how hard this group of special recruits tried, even with their powerful elemental powers, they could not touch Sumo's clothes at all. His graceful figure was like a breeze, kicking these poor kids away one by one. One man was fighting against 18 people, and he seemed to be so at ease, it was simply despairing. Sit on the stage. Shangguan Qinghong's handsome expression showed emotion. Strong, Shangguan Qinghong, used to be unconvinced by any of the younger generations, because they were not as strong as me, but I really am convinced by my brother-in-law. This is completely ravaged. I am afraid that if some silver 9 stars come, they will also be ravaged, right? Shangguan Feiyan, who was standing by, did not refute the title of brother-in-law. Her beautiful eyes flickered. My junior brother's dodge is still as powerful as ever. She recalled how her particle sword was easily dodged. I wonder if the junior can still be as relaxed as before when she gives it her all when they compete again. The senior students near Shangguan Qinghong looked at Sumo, their expressions gradually filled with shock. Ji Yu Chen nodded calmly, his lips curled up slightly. Very strong. I am not 100% sure to defeat him at the same level. The implication is that maybe it can be defeated, but not necessarily. The charming woman at the side glared at him when she heard that. It was the first time she heard the captain evaluate someone like that. After a while, except for Cheng Wushang, Li Tianyi and Mirong Zi who were still struggling to get up. A group of special recruits were already lying on the ground, screaming in pain. They were kicked all over and could not get up. Seeing this, Sumo shook his head and said in a disappointed tone, with this level, do you want to embarrass our Magic City University? If there is no change on the day before 1 week later, none of you will have a place. Chapter 79. finding a magic core channel dealer. Inside the martial arts arena, seeing Sumo's serious expression that seemed like he was not joking, the faces of the special recruits turned grim even though they were crying out in pain. They had no doubt that the man in front of them could really do such a thing. In the viewing seats, all the students, including the specially recruited teachers, looked at each other with emotion. At this moment, they had only one idea. Chief Su is too demanding. In fact, after the entire test, they were already amazed by the performance of this year's special recruits. Definitely better than the previous one. Especially Cheng Wushang, Li Tianyi and Marong Zi. Every time they were injured, they knew how to think. Every attack was improving. Their talent was visible to the naked eye. As for why there was no effect, it was naturally because Sumo was too perverted. With such strength, the specially recruited students would be beaten to a pulp in any class. It is a blessing for these special recruits that a freak like Sumo appeared in this class, but it is also a misfortune. Fortunately, there is a dazzling benchmark. The pressure is so great that I can push myself and work harder to catch up. Unfortunately, this goal is too hopeless. Even if you know that you have made progress, you will never be able to catch up. You will only be left further and further behind, and your mentality will easily collapse. Yi Xiaoshui looked at Chen Durong at this time and asked curiously, Brother Durong, you must have been very demanding of yourself in the past, right? Hearing this, Shangguan Feiyan beside her also pricked up her ears. She really wanted to know about Sumo's past. Shangguan Qinghong and other senior special recruits who were standing next to Shangguan Feiyan also looked at Chen Durong curiously. Chen Durong, who was shocked by the test, came back to his senses after hearing this. Seeing so many big men looking at him, he nodded quickly. Amo is indeed the kind of person who is extremely demanding of himself. During every training session, he is the one who persists to the end. Even if he fails to complete it and faints, he will double up the next day after waking up, and even spends all his rest time on training. As for the liberal arts, if he was short of even 1 point in the exams, he would stare at his test paper for most of the day, and work twice as hard to find his mistakes. That's why Amo was called an Iron Man when he was in No. 3 middle school, and he was able to beat the children of awakened families. I was inspired by Amo's hard work, so I worked twice as hard. I thought it was amazing to awaken AC level ability, but now that I have come to the Magic City, I know. At the end, Chen Durong sighed humbly. Seeing this, Yi Xiaoshui immediately comforted him, it's okay. Some people with C-level abilities have broken through their limits and become diamond masters. However, Shangguan Feiyan and the others were deeply shocked at this moment. They looked at the tall figure standing in the center of the field and fell silent. He has an enchanting talent and is so strict with himself. No wonder he's so perverted. A talented person is not scary. Advertisement. But a person who is more talented than you and works 100 times harder than you can definitely make people tremble. Ji Yuchen's fair and handsome face showed a rare serious expression at this time. If he is in the same class as us, it should be very interesting. These words are enough to show that he has recognized Sumo. Shangguan Qinghong smiled and nodded. As expected of my brother-in-law. The charming woman sitting next to Ji Yuchen also nodded. The captain is indeed invincible in her heart, but Sumo's ruthlessness is also admirable. Awesome. Is this senior sus strength? I feel like any of those special recruits can beat the shit out of us, but in front of Senior Su, it's like a son being beaten by his father. He is worthy of being the strongest of all time. A father beating his son. Very appropriate. Brother, if Senior Su beat us, how would we describe it? One punch for each kid, not even as good as a grandson. Ah, this is my Momo. I love him so much. I really want to have a love affair with him while watching the sea. Sister, you are not good enough. I have even thought about the child's appearance. Even if he looks 70% like Senior Su, he will definitely be a handsome man when he grows up. Sister, you are still cruel. You are all just dreaming about shit. Who isn't a school beauty genius girl? You should be reserved. Ahem, okay, I can't make up any more stories. I'm going to reveal my cards. I want it too. In the freshman audience, all the freshmen were completely impressed by Sumo. Although Senior Su looks very domineering in the video, he looks calm and composed at this moment, showing the demeanor of a master, which is also very attractive. Center of the field. Sumo spoke again. Remember what I said, okay, everyone get up and go to the infirmary. After saying that, he walked straight into the passage, leaving everyone with an unfathomable back. In the audience, everyone looked emotional and felt like they wanted more, but since Sumo had already left, they could only disperse. The next time we see Sumo in action will be during the freshman contest. Shangguan Feiyan and others immediately caught up with Sumo, and Cheng Wushang also hurriedly jogged to catch up. On the way, advertisement. Shangguan Qinghong said jokingly, brother-in-law, if the performance of those special recruits does not meet the standards in a week, will you really not give them a place? The principal will be so angry that he will die. The corner of Sumo's mouth twitched. The way this brother-in-law called her was becoming more and more natural. And Shangguan Feiyan did not refute. The people following behind him also looked at him curiously. How can the progress be so fast in just 1 week? Especially Cheng Wushang, who looked at his brother Mo with a look of grievance. Being watched by everyone, Sumo chuckled and said, "It depends on the situation. If you really don't have the ability, then you should just stay in school and shout 666. It's better for me to go alone than to lose face. Of course, I'll just try my best to get the top spot." Shangguan Qinghong's mouth twitched. "Okay, hockey like me." Shang Wushang cried. "Brother Mo." Patting his little brother on the shoulder, Sumo said seriously, "I have high expectations for you. I believe in you, Takeo." Shang Wushang's body suddenly trembled. What Mo Jie said was very obvious. He has actually reached the standard, but Brother Mo still wants him to break through his limits again. "Brother Mo, I will try my best." Nodding, Sumo then looked at Shangguan Qinghong with a hint of a smile in his eyes. Shangguan Qinghong subconsciously took a step back after seeing this. This brother-in-law smiles in such a weird way. "Senior, I would like to trouble you for something. Can you use the influence of your Shangguan family?" Shangguan Feiyan, who had been staring at Sumo, quickly said softly, "Junior, go ahead." Shangguan Qinghong directly hooked Sumo's shoulder and grinned. "The smile you just had, I thought you had some improper thoughts about me, your brother-in-law, and you scared me. Tell me, what's the matter? We are all family, don't be polite." "I'm not gay." Sumo rolled his eyes, then said seriously, "I want a stable supply channel." Shangguan Qinghong, Shangguan Feiyan, Yi Xiaoshui and others were all stunned. "Stable supply channels, do you want to buy something?" Shangguan Qinghong was immediately confused. Channel of what? Magic Core. Chapter 80. Shengxing Chamber of Commerce. Magic Core. Everyone was stunned. It seems that magic cores are cultivation resources that can only be absorbed by gold awakeners. If you are not at the golden realm and do not have precise mental strength, if you absorb it randomly, you will be accidentally injured by the blood power of the monster inside. Although Sumo is very pervert, he should not be at the gold level yet, right? Why take the risk of absorbing magic cores for cultivation? Is it possible that there are not enough psychic stones? It shouldn't be. To become the chief student, do you still need the psychic stone? Shangguan Qinghong smiled and said, "Brother-in-law, are you running out of psychic stones? You and my brother-in-law can just ask for them. There's no need to absorb any magic cores. Aren't intermediate psychic stones more useful?" Shangguan Feiyan also nodded worriedly. "You're welcome, Junior." She also thought that Sumo had no more psychic energy and wanted to go and absorb the magic core. Chen Durong and Cheng Wushang, who were standing by, were immediately filled with envy. Very nice. They also want a goddess or rich woman to say to them, "I will support you." Seeing everyone's worried faces, Sumo smiled helplessly. "I have enough psychic stones, and the magic core supplier I want doesn't want complete magic cores. I just want to satisfy my hobby. I like to collect some leftover magic cores. They look pretty good." Hearing this, everyone was stunned again. I didn't expect Sumo to have such a strange hobby. But they didn't think much about it, as long as Sumo didn't take the risk of absorbing the complete magic core. After all, no one is so stupid as to have no psychic power, so why not try to die by absorbing the strange power that will backfire? They just think it's a little bit of a contrast that Sumo actually has this hobby. Shangguan Qinghong immediately teased, "I didn't expect you to have such a hobby. I thought it was a big deal." "No problem, it's not a big deal. I'll take care of it. Let's not talk about the fact that our Shangguan family has a large number of abandoned monsters. Among the people I know, there are many small merchants who collect these abandoned monsters and sell them to ordinary mortals as decorations. Since they can't make money from the awakened ones, these merchants naturally make money from the mortals." Sumo was overjoyed and immediately grinned and said, "Thank you very much, brother-in-law." Although he has some fame now, he still lacks influence. Therefore, the matter of collecting the incomplete magic cores can only be entrusted to a force with extensive connections like the Shangguan family. "Oh, this is the first time you call me brother-in-law. It has come to this. So, should we consider when to set a date?" Shangguan Qinghong said this and raised her eyes at Shangguan Feiyan, whose pretty face was already blushing. She was so mean. This guy didn't stop teasing until a silver particle sword was gradually formed. Of course, given his temper, he must have really considered it. What a brother who sells out his sister. Advertisement. Other brothers are reluctant to let their precious sisters be taken away by pigs, but this one is so different that he is eager to send them away. Of course, Sumo is not an ordinary pig. If I must describe him, he is the king of pigs. Soon, after a while of playing around, Shangguan Qinghong heard that Sumo was a good cook. So he shamelessly brought a few senior students from his special recruits team to eat for free. As dusk approached, most of the freshmen happily strolled around the campus. There were also many local students from Shanghai who rushed home to report the good news. In short, compared with the campus before the holidays, it was now full of vitality. As for the class division, Vice President Yin Zhan also said that the classes will be officially divided after the freshman competition. At the dinner table, Shangguan Qinghong looked at the table full of dishes and immediately gave Sumo a thumbs up. If you and Feiyan get married in the future, the children will definitely be fat and the food will definitely be good. At the side, the beautiful special admissions student named Yan Qing who followed him couldn't help it anymore and gave him a slap. Boom. Yan Qing was speechless and said, "You've embarrassed the young couple, do you know that? Eat your meal." Quote. Sumo was speechless. "I am so. Senior sister Yan, please don't embarrass me, okay? Also, are you two showing off? Singles are unhappy." After a while, everyone picked up their chopsticks, and the eyes of several seniors who had never eaten Sumo's food suddenly lit up. Looked at Sumo in shock. Good job. Not only is he incredibly talented, but he's also a great cook. This is 2F G unfair. After wolfing down the food, Shengguan Qinghong left with satisfaction. Sumo looked at Yi Xiaoshui. "Senior sister, go wash the dishes. As a frequent visitor to Villa 10, you eat the food provided by senior sister Feiyan and me. It's time for you to show your ability. You shouldn't be the kind of lazy person, right? If this gets out, your male fans. I'll wash the dishes from now on, okay? Good boy. You, At night, Sumo sat hovering on the bed, and with a look of joy he took out the incomplete magic core that Shengguan Qinghong had someone give him. Advertisement. This brother-in-law was very considerate. After the meal, he asked someone to bring magic cores to me, and he sent them in a mid-level superior quality storage ring. He even said, "There will be more later, and I will definitely fill them up for you." Happiness. His consciousness probed into the storage ring, and Sumo's mouth was grinning from ear to ear. A whole ring is full, which is even more exaggerated than the savings of those golden awakeners last time. Although most of them are third-level magic cores, there are a lot of them. System, absorb it. As Sumo finished speaking. Ding. The host absorbed a broken third-level initial magic core and gained 203 energy points. Ding. The host absorbed a broken third-stage late-stage magic core and gained 403 energy points. Ding. The host absorbed a broken third-stage intermediate magic core and gained 299 energy points. Ding. The host absorbed a fragment. Letting the system absorb it, Sumo leaned back, a smile on his face, and fell asleep happily. The second day, Sumo got up early and looked at the energy points displayed on the system, feeling so excited. Open black lens bracket energy point close black lens bracket, 426041. Adding the remaining 100,000 from last time, that is to say, he earned more than 300,000 just by sleeping. Cool. If the storage ring could hold more, I'm afraid that brother-in-law would have given him more, right? Without any more hesitation, Sumo went straight out the door with the business card given by Shengguan Qinghong. Because it was not yet fully light, there were still quite a few people in Shanghai University at this time. Soon, he hailed a taxi and arrived at a high-rise building called Shengxing Chamber of Commerce. I saw that the doors of the surrounding high-rise buildings were closed, only the door of the Shengxing Chamber of Commerce was open. Even outside the store, there were lights and decorations, and rows of beautiful girls standing there nervously. They looked nervous and looked outside the door from time to time, as if they were waiting for some important person to arrive. Business is pretty fast. Sumo chuckled and walked towards the gate. At this moment, in a window on a high-rise building, a tall man in a suit saw Sumo. His face suddenly lit up with joy. He flashed to the downstairs of the gate, and then trotted out respectfully. Chapter 81. It feels so good to be licked by someone on your knees. The man in the suit had a smile on his face. He went downstairs and trotted out immediately. As he passed the rows of etiquette ladies, he commanded in a tone, "Follow me." The rows of nervous etiquette ladies straightened up quickly when they saw the man in a suit appear. But when he saw the latter's expression was even more nervous than himself and others, he instantly realized something. They all shuddered and hurried to follow. One after another, delicate bodies trotted out, their high heels making a clicking sound. At the same time, my little head began to daydream. The reason why this person is so nervous should be that the important person who was notified has arrived. When they thought of this, the little girls suddenly became even more nervous, and they could hardly maintain the professional smiles on their faces. After a while, the man in a suit trotted over to Sumo, who was walking over, and said respectfully, "Mr. Su, welcome to Shengxing Chamber of Commerce." After saying that, he made a very standard gesture of invitation. The girls behind him were stunned at first when they saw such a handsome boy, but then they reacted. She also said in a tender voice, "Welcome, Mr. Su." They thought it was one of those powerful and virtuous uncles, but they didn't expect it to be such a handsome young man. Some of the young ladies who had just taken the seats as etiquette ladies suddenly blushed and looked at Sumo secretly. But soon, their eyes widened, and a young lady couldn't help but exclaimed, "Sumo." In today's Demon City, the name Sumo is a household name. From the kings to ordinary people, it can be said that everyone has seen Sumo's records and images. And for these mortal young ladies, Sumo, a demon among the awakened ones, is simply their dream lover. Now that they see him, one can imagine how they feel. But as soon as she finished speaking, she reacted, quickly covered her mouth, and looked at the man in the suit with a look of panic. The man in a suit who was smiling at Sumo turned to look at the girl, and his expression became cold the next moment. "You think you can call Su Xiao by his name? You don't have to come to work tomorrow." Suddenly, the young lady's face turned pale and her body trembled. Sumo looked at this scene, speechless. He glanced at the business card, then looked up at the man in the suit. Are you Boss Chen? Hearing this, the man in the suit quickly turned his head and smiled again. Yes. Mr. Su, Master Shangguan has already told Chen, so from yesterday until now, my Shengxing Chamber of Commerce has been keeping the door open for you. Good job. Advertisement. You are the boss, and a gold awakener at that. That's too much. Looking at the man in a suit named Chen Kai, Sumo smiled and said, Boss Chen, since the senior has already told you, let's skip the introduction and go in and talk. Chen Kai was overjoyed. Mr. Su, please. After nodding, Sumo walked towards the Shengxing Chamber of Commerce. When he passed by the pale-faced girl, he said softly, Boss Chen, ordinary people are also an indispensable part of our human society. It's not easy for everyone. After saying that, he continued walking towards the gate. As a veteran who has been in the business world for many years, Chen Kai naturally understood the meaning of Sumo's words. Then, as he passed by the girl, his tone was much softer. You still have to have the proper etiquette. I will forgive you this time for Mr. Sasake. Don't make the same mistake again next time. As he said this, he followed Sumo's footsteps and resumed his respectful appearance. Not until the two figures went away did the etiquette ladies breathe a sigh of relief and look at the pale-faced girl. Xiao Kui, you have to be more careful next time. Even if you like someone, you have to control your emotions. If young Master Su hadn't spoken up for you just now, you would be out of work. Master Sumo is not only extremely talented, but also handsome. Most importantly, he is so gentle. If only I had awakened my superpowers, I would have found a way to get closer to Master Sumo. Alas, it's a pity that we are all mortals who cannot awaken superpowers. In a luxurious office in a high-rise building, Sumo sat on a luxurious sofa chair. Chen Kai poured him a cup of famous tea, then smiled and said, Young Master Su, do you want to find a channel to provide discarded magic cores? Sumo took a sip of tea, nodded and smiled. Yeah. The words fell. Chen Kai immediately took out a contract with a smile on his face and placed it respectfully in front of Sumo. Sumo was stunned. What is this? Mr. Su, please look. Seeing Boss Chen's attentive look, Sumo picked up the contract, read it carefully, and was stunned again. Article 1. All magic core suppliers in Demon City shall unconditionally provide discarded magic cores to Su Xiao. Closing square bracket. Next, there are some details, but all of them are unilateral profits for Sumo, and it can even be said that he lost money. Good job. Is this AF ******* G contract? Are you sure it's not a slave contract? He Sumo is the creditor, and these suppliers are slaves. Advertisement. Sumo coughed twice and said, Boss Chen, are you sure you didn't make any mistakes in the contract? Chen Kai immediately smiled and said, Young Master Su, the contents of the contract were all agreed upon by all magic core suppliers under the leadership of our Shengxing Chamber of Commerce. It is absolutely true. Moreover, it is our great honor to satisfy your hobbies, young Master Su. In his heart, the boss's heart was pounding with excitement. Just the discarded magic core can connect with this person, and this has been the case for most of his life in the business world. It is definitely the most profitable business. Truth. Laughing secretly in his heart, Sumo immediately Kaido, since Boss Chen and the others are so straightforward, thank you very much. If there is anything in the future, just let me know. Sumo will help within his ability. Chen Kai waved his hands quickly. I dare not. I dare not. The profits they earned from just discarding the magic cores were not even a fraction of the real magic cores. How dare he ask Sumo for help? His main purpose this time was to get to know this future big boss of Shanghai. After discussing some magic core handover plans with Boss Chen, Sumo left Shengxing Chamber of Commerce. In the future, all the major suppliers will pile up the discarded magic cores in a hidden warehouse. He can absorb them whenever he wants. It is like his own small treasury. How happy he is. I thought it would be a well-calculated deal, but I didn't expect it to end in such a loss-making way. Sumo couldn't help but sigh. It feels so good to be licked by someone on their knees. From then on, with this stable channel for earning energy points, he could finally rest assured. We have officially entered the stage of moderate prosperity and drawn a clear line between ourselves and poverty. Time flies, and 5 days pass quietly. The news of the freshman competition is already known to everyone in all major cities in the world, even without any publicity. Talented students from all corners of the world set out for Taikyo City with high morale. That's right. Today, the venue for the freshman competition is Taikyo City, once a prosperous capital in the technological era. At this time, I am at Magic City University. In a hidden underground martial arts hall, Sumo summoned all the special recruits again. This time, he did not inform anyone and did it secretly. It's considered giving some face to Li Tianyi and others. The day after tomorrow is the day when the freshman competition begins. Students from other schools have even arrived in Imperial City. I hope our Magic City University is not too shabby. After teasing Cheng Wushang and others standing around, Sumo immediately hooked his finger and said, come on. Chapter 82 Arriving in Imperial City, where geniuses gather. During these 5 days, Cheng Wushang and other special recruits obviously took Sumo's words to heart. Each one is more hardworking than the other, some even neglect sleep and food, just to make progress and win a place. Especially those who are obviously inferior in strength, when they become crazy, they simply don't care about their lives. Sumo knew this through news, and he was still very satisfied. In fact, does he really want this group of people to become so powerful? No, what he wanted was to inspire the ruthlessness of these special recruits and grind away their arrogance. Only in this way can we identify our own shortcomings and become stronger. Of course, he didn't expect these guys to become very strong in the short term, because none of them were as strong as him, Sumo. In the end, he has to take responsibility for the reputation of Shanghai University. However, there are still some people who have made obvious progress, such as Cheng Wushang, Li Tianyi, and Marong Zi. The aura emitted by the former at this moment is infinitely close to 7 stars, and is more restrained. The latter two also reached the level of Black Iron 6 stars. The cultivation levels of the others also improved. After all, they are all S-level special recruits. There may be some differences, but they won't be too big. In the center of the arena, as Sumo raised his finger, Cheng Wushang and others looked at each other and immediately rushed towards Sumo. Seeing the formation of the crowd, Sumo's eyes lit up. They know how to work as a team, that's good. This group of special recruits had obviously communicated with each other during these 5 days. Their positioning, supernatural attacks, and close combat methods were all arranged accordingly, with a clear division of labor, and they did not act blindly. It's great to have such awareness. But, still couldn't touch the corner of Sumo's clothes. Perhaps if someone from the Silver Realm came, they would be killed instantly, but facing Sumo was still so desperate. After a while, Cheng Wushang and others were so tired that they fell to the ground. They were not injured because of being beaten. That's right, they were just tired. Pa, pa, pa. Clapping his hands, Sumo looked at the special recruits who had fallen to the ground and said with a smile, they are all very good and have made great progress. They didn't go in one ear and out the other, which proves that there is nothing wrong with your attitude. Li Tianyi, who was lying on the ground, panted unhappily, what's the point of making great progress? If I can't even touch your clothes, Kakuzu, I'm still the same waste as before. Being able to make this most arrogant guy laugh at himself, it seems that the pressure Sumo put on them was really too great. Advertisement. As Li Tianyi finished his words, this group of special recruits lowered their heads and became depressed. Looking at the current situation, it seems there is no hope of getting a spot. However, Sumo's next words made their eyes widen and reveal an ecstatic look. Sumo smiled faintly and said, everyone, get up. Next, I will announce the quota. Cheng Wushang turned over, jumped up and said happily, Brother Mo, we didn't even touch you. I don't think I ever said I wanted you to run into me. Sumo shook his head and said jokingly, if the condition is that you have to meet me, then you really don't want this position. Ha ha ha, so cool. Cheng Wushang burst out laughing immediately. I knew Brother Mo wouldn't be that cruel. Li Tianyi and others breathed a sigh of relief when they heard this, and stood up excitedly waiting for Sumo's announcement. Looking at the special admissions students who were looking at him with anticipation, Sumo stopped teasing them and announced directly. Cheng Wushang, Li Tianyi, Marong Zi, Yu Chang. Raise the sound. Yu Peng, Mu Xiaoyu, Helian Xingyang. Ning KK, comma. When her name was the last one called out, Ning Kiki looked nervous at first, but then she was stunned, so cute. The next moment, she said with disbelief on her pretty face, Senior Su, am I selected? Looking at her, Sumo smiled and said, your combat awareness and use of supernatural powers are better than those of several people who are similar to you. Although your cultivation is a little worse, it is still very good. Yeah, love you, Senior. After saying that, the little girl jumped up like a little rabbit, and even blurted out the last ambiguous words. People who don't understand would definitely think that Sumo had some kind of PY transaction with her. Ahem. Advertisement. Sumo, who was almost choked, looked at the specially recruited students who were not selected. Your progress in the past 5 days is also good, but it is still a pity. After this, work harder. They are ahead of you now, but we don't know who will win or lose in the future. Everything is possible. Hearing this, the special recruits who were not selected and were looking down with red eyes slowly raised their heads, looked at Sumo and nodded heavily, saying, Senior Su, we will work harder. After saying that, he left the martial arts hall. One after another, figures walked out of the dark passage. Although they looked very lonely, they were obviously straighter, proving that they were more motivated. Retracting his gaze, Sumo looked at Cheng Wushang and the others again. Okay, go back and get ready, and then we'll set off. After a while, everyone was ready on a sophisticated and advanced fighter plane. Led by the big boss Feng Xiaoyao, Shengguan Feiyan, Yi Xiaoshui and others also followed. Yan Yun and other special recruitment teachers who rushed back were also inside, and they kept teasing Sumo with dirty talk, which was not serious at all. Even senior special recruits like Ji Yu Chen came to watch the fun. In their words, it's more exciting to watch it live, and by the way, it's a chance to support their younger classmates. Fortunately, the fighter plane is big enough, otherwise it would not be able to accommodate so many people. Call out. Soon, Accompanied by a buzzing sound, the fighter plane flew away from the demon city with a long tail flame. We chose a safer high-speed rail route and rushed to Taikyo City. A day and a night later, a steel city situated on the land came into view. The scale is no worse than that of Demon City. As this Imperial City, it's so beautiful. I heard that Imperial City used to be very cold, but after the catastrophe, the Earth's crust changed and our human territory was messed up. Now the new location of Imperial City has not only expanded hundreds of times, but it's not cold anymore. It's amazing. Shang Wushang looked at the Dijing City below with curiosity and was amazed. Dijing City was definitely the second big city he visited, the first being Modu. Sumo was also secretly amazed. After the huge changes in the landscape, the world was no longer the same as before. The territory has expanded beyond belief, and new areas have emerged, all of which are unknown. It may be occupied by monsters, or it may not have been developed yet. Everything is full of unknowns. Their Demon City is also a new location, hundreds of times larger. So naturally, he would be curious about the Imperial Capital City at this time. At this moment, fighter planes also began to fly in from the surrounding sky, cutting through the sky and arriving in Dijing City. Then, under the command of military personnel, it landed at the designated location. After getting off the cabin, Sumo looked around and saw young people with high spirits getting off the fighter planes of various universities. Ha ha ha, brother Xiaoyao, the young people from your Magic City University this year all look pretty good. At this time, a fighter plane landed nearby, with the 4 big words, Zhongzhou University, written on it. Chapter 83. You're back too. As soon as he finished speaking, a burly old man wearing a brown shirt appeared beside Feng Xiaoyao. Without a trace, it suddenly appeared. Sumo looked at the old man, his eyes subconsciously focused. Another extraordinary boss. Moreover, it was an extraordinary being related to the earth element, because as soon as he landed, Sumo keenly discovered that the earth element under his feet became extremely active, which was exactly the characteristic of the influence of extraordinary strong people on the world. Feng Xiaoyao immediately introduced Sumo and others with a smile. This is the vice president of Zhongzhou University. Zhongzhou University's vice president Guo Zhang, the over 300-year-old ruler of the earth. This person's reputation is no less than Feng Xiaoyao's. Although Feng Xiaoyao is much older, he is also a powerful person at the peak of the extraordinary 9 stars. S-level Earth element, owner of the Central Holy Land. Sumo and others hurriedly said respectfully, "Hello, Principal Guo." Guo Zhang looked at Sumo and the other 10 freshmen, nodded first, and then said tartly, "Brother Xiaoyao, I heard that your Magic City University has recruited nearly 20 good seedlings this year, and now you have also sent Ji Yu Chen and other little guys here. Do you think I, an old man, am not tart enough?" The expression on the old man's face at this moment was a true expression of his feelings. He was really sad. There are only 6 specially recruited new students at Zhongzhou University this year. They don't even need to take any assessment and can get the places directly. The remaining 4 places will be filled by A-level recommended students. Compared with the 10 special admission students of Shanghai University, the difference is not even a little bit. What's even more hateful is that there is a monster in Demon City University who was promoted to the Silver Realm in just 1 month. He is even more incomparable. Although they also have excellent special recruits who have been promoted to the peak of Black Iron 8 stars, they are still far behind the monster in the Magic City. He can't help but feel jealous. Guo Zhang said sourly, looking at Sumo and said with a smile, "Su Xiaoyu, do you want to come to our Zhongzhou University? I will definitely treat you as my own grandson. Not only are there unlimited resources, but my great-granddaughter is also a special student. She is very cute and charming." As he spoke, he pointed to a cute and lovely girl who was getting off the fighter plane. "You old fellow." Feng Xiaoyao's face turned dark. Damn it, how dare they poach people right in front of him, treating Feng Xiaoyao as nothing. Shangguan Qinghong's face turned ugly. How dare she use the beauty trap to poach his brother-in-law? Damn, can't you see that my sister's expression is very unnatural now? Besides, is your granddaughter as pretty as my sister? Is there a perfect figure like my sister? Cute. Hee, my sister is domineering and cute, she is omnipotent. Of course, for now, he can only complain about these dissatisfactions in his heart. If he were an extraordinary boss now, he would definitely have a showdown with this frivolous Principal Guo. At this time, 10 students from Zhongzhou University also got off the fighter planes and came to Guo Zhang's side, each with a different expression. But when he looked at Sumo and others, the fighting spirit in his eyes was unconcealed. Especially the young man with narrow eyes and wearing a red leather jacket, who looked at Sumo at first glance. Are you the Sumo who was hyped up by the media? They said that you have already taken the top spot. I really don't agree with that. I admit that you are indeed the one with the highest level of cultivation among our freshmen this time, but don't think that you are really secure. We will know everything after the competition. A string of harsh words came out. Shang Wushang was also unhappy. Who are you? Brother Mo abused you like it was a game, believe it or not. Hearing this, the young man turned to look at Cheng Wu, who looked at him fearlessly, and the situation became tense for a moment. Advertisement. Boom. A slap in the face fell. Guo Zhang looked helplessly at the boy in the red jacket and said, Yancheng, if you don't change your character, I will lock you up in school in the future, and you won't be able to go out for training in a few months. The boy in the red jacket immediately shrank his head and stopped talking. Feng Xiaoyao looked at him and said with a smile, Old Zhang, is this little guy the blood dragon from your Zhongzhou University? His talent is okay, but his personality is too rough. He needs to be polished. After hitting the boy's head hard, Guo Zhang said with a smile, okay, let's go check into the hotel. We are the last two to arrive among the 5 top universities. The freshman competition will officially start tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. How about we have a drink tonight? Ha ha ha, okay, it's been a while since I had a drink with an old guy like you. At this moment, the long-awaited luxury psychic car drove in front of everyone. After getting in the car, the group drove to the most luxurious Shungshan hotel in the capital. This made students from other universities envious, as they naturally did not have such good treatment. There was a car, but it was obviously not that luxurious. There was also a hotel arranged, which was not bad, but not the most luxurious Shungshan. So envious. Sitting in the luxurious psychic car, Sumo and others looked at the surrounding street environment and were filled with emotion. There are too many people. At this time, the streets were crowded with people, all discussing the freshman competition. It can be said that all capable awakened people or mortals in the entire human territory have come to the imperial capital city. Everyone wants to watch this battle of human genius live. Even many people came from Shanghai, but they were not on the same path as Sumo and the others. After a while, several luxury psychic cars drove into Shungshan Hotel, and rows of buildings that looked like palaces were stationed in front. Just one glance and you can think of 3 words. Large and luxurious. At this time, 2 men and women in suits were waiting at the entrance of the luxurious hall. Seeing Feng Xiaoyao and Guo Zhang get off the car, they immediately trotted over, looking respectful. Principal Feng, Principal Guo, we are the stewards sent by the government to take charge of your school's entire trip to the capital. We have arranged accommodation for you. Do you want to go up now? Or? Looking at the sky, Feng Xiaoyao smiled and said, I heard that the government is going to hold a banquet for the freshman competition for us, right? Of the 2, the male butler looked respectful. Yes. The banquet will start after 7 o'clock. After nodding, everyone immediately followed the 2 butlers into Shungshan Hotel. Chen Durong followed Cheng Wushang and said nervously, Wushang, this is my first time entering such a luxurious hotel. The hotels in Tianai City are nothing compared to it. Cheng Wushang also swallowed his saliva. It's my first time too, but Brother Durong, we have to be as steady as Brother Mo. Just in front of them. Sumo looked calm as he slowly followed Feng Xiaoyao, walking side by side with Ji Yu Chen and other members of the aristocratic family who had seen the world. Their temperaments were fully revealed and their looks were off the charts, which attracted the attention of some etiquette ladies. After walking for about a few minutes, they were brought to a luxurious building at Magic City University, which consisted of an entire building of rooms. They are all from Shanghai University, you can choose any one you want. The 5 top universities are indeed very impressive. The Shungshan Hotel is truly worthy of being the #1 hotel in the capital. The layout of the rooms is as exquisite and luxurious as their villas in university. It has everything, even the entertainment aspect is much better. Get ready and gather at 7 o'clock for the banquet. After saying this, Feng Xiaoyao turned into a wisp of breeze and disappeared. Nightfall. Everyone put on their formal attire and walked out of the room. Advertisement. Sumo wore a light black dress, which matched his slender figure and unique temperament. He is like a noble gentleman, very charming. Yi Xiaoshui praised him rarely, tisk tisk, he's quite handsome. Shangguan Feiyan looked at Sumo, her pretty face slightly red. Junior brother, this dress suits you very well, very charming and handsome. Sumo grinned. The senior sisters are also very beautiful, especially senior sister Feiyan, her figure. At this time, Shangguan Feiyan was still wearing a black long skirt as her dress, but it showed off her figure better than her previous one. When he took a look at her, he couldn't help but be in a trance. It was as if a female night elf was standing before him, so charming and stunning that he was stunned. Of course, brother-in-law, standing together with Feiyan, you are simply a match made in heaven. Shangguan Qinghong also walked out in a white dress, looking equally handsome, and looked at Sumo and his sister with satisfaction. Yan Qing took his wrist and said with her red lips curled, you are also very handsome if you don't speak. It wasn't easy, and another wave of dog food was shown. Chen Durong and Cheng Wushang were so envious. The open-air hall of Shungshan Hotel. At this time, many people gathered, including freshmen and teachers from the 4 top universities, including key universities. Even the noble families of the imperial capital and high-ranking officials of the government and military came to the scene. Celebrate the freshman contest together. After a while, Sumo and others came over gracefully, immediately attracting a lot of attention. However, before they could completely walk into the open-air hall, a handsome young man in a black suit pulled Sumo away. That's right, as soon as he arrived, he took Sumo's hand and pulled him to the shadow corner at the side. Sumo looked confused and looked at the boy. Who are you? Without answering Sumo's words, the boy handed over a glass of red wine. You are back too. There was a hint of tentativeness in his tone. Looking at the boy, Sumo was stunned and asked with confusion, "What do you mean?" This guy pulled me aside for no reason and didn't even speak human language. What the hell is going on? Looking at Sumo's puzzled eyes, the boy's pair of handsome pupils suddenly revealed a doubt that was 10 times stronger than Sumo's. This is impossible. After muttering something, he looked at Sumo deeply and left. Ding. Host, this boy's innate soul state is somewhat similar to yours, with traces of time and space. Sumo, who was looking at the boy's back in confusion, was shocked when he heard this. What do you mean? Ding. Consume 100,000 energy points to activate the detection function. Damn it. Another activation function. Although he is now well off, he can't consume like this. But his curiosity had been aroused, and even if it was a scam, Sumo had no choice but to grit his teeth and activate it. Ding. The exploration function has been activated. Depending on the difficulty of the exploration target, you need to pay the corresponding energy points. Out of curiosity, Sumo turned the detection function on the young man in the suit. Ding. The basic information of the target requires 100,000 energy points. Do you want to proceed? Sumo's face darkened. FK. So many. This target has traces of time and space, so it will take a lot of energy points. Taking a deep breath, Sumo said with an unhappy look on his face. I've already spent 100,000, so what if I get another 100,000? Let's go. As he said this, he consumed another 100,000 energy points and aimed at the young man in the suit who was gradually going away. Then, his eyes widened. Chapter 84 Reborn, Mo Fan. Target name. Mo Fan. Target background. Known currently the top freshman at Taikyo University, 1 month ago, reborn back to the day of the awakening ceremony unknown why was he reborn. Before he was reborn. Target cultivation level. Known Black Iron 9-star peak, which is an error message unknown real cultivation level. Target superpowers. Known S-level Ultimate Thunder Element 9 Heaven's Thunder, A-level Special Fast Self-Healing unknown, the public announcement of A-level Special Superpower Fast Self-Healing is false information, what is the second superpower really? Reborn. Sumo was confused. It's not like he had never read novels in his previous life, and he had naturally read novels about rebirth. But what he never expected was that he actually met a reborn person in this world. Etc. If this Mo Fan is a reborn person, it means that he has always been from this world. Although I don't know why, I was reborn back to the day of the awakening ceremony at the age of 18. But he absolutely knows what will happen in the future. If you follow this development path, you will definitely seek opportunities in the future, seize all opportunities, and eventually reach the top. Advertisement. But if he knew everything about the future, then why did he look at me with such doubt and probing expression just now? Sumo secretly analyzed. Could it be that in his future world, there is no such person as me? After all, if I existed, with my influence in Magic City University, he would definitely know, and he would not have such an expression. In other words, I am special, in his future world. I do not exist. You are back too. Thinking back to what Mo Fan had just said, Sumo smiled. This Mo Fan is testing him. Test whether I have been reborn, test this special existence of mine. Good job. If I wasn't a time traveler, I would have been successfully tempted by him and be confused. Sumo thought with amusement and looked at the information again. He was puzzled. System, does the error message and question mark mean that Mo Fan has hidden his true information? And 100,000 energy points can only be used to investigate the information he has announced to the public and his identity as a reborn person. If I want to continue investigating, I must pay more energy points. Yes. After hearing what the system said, Sumo understood. As he looked at the figure disappearing in the crowd, a strange smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. This guy must have some powerful stuff, and he has hidden his skills and abilities. Pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger is the favorite of the son of luck. Advertisement. Of course, if Sumo wanted to, he would spend all the energy to investigate regardless of the cost, and naturally all the information about Mo Fan would be hidden from him. But this is not necessary, it is enough to know that he is a reborn person. As for Mo Fan, he didn't know Sumo's background. Wonderful. Do you know all the opportunities and chances? Good, he is a very good treasure hunting tool. I must follow him wherever he goes in the future. Then the mantis stalks the cicada while the oriole waits behind. With a smile on his face, Sumo immediately stepped into the open-air hall. Sheng Wushang immediately came forward and said, Brother Mo, I just heard from others that the guy seems to be the super demon Mo Fanye of Taikyo University. Like you, he became the top student before he officially enrolled. He has beaten many seniors to tears, and his cultivation seems to have reached the peak of Black Iron 9 stars. He is a super ruthless person with dual superpowers. Of course, compared with you, Brother Mo, he is far inferior. At the end, this guy didn't forget to praise his brother Mo. Shangguan Qinghong also looked at Sumo after hearing this. Brother-in-law, do you know Mo Fan? It seems that Sumo has never been to Taikyo City. But looking at the two of them holding hands just now, it seems that they have a very good relationship. Looking at Mo Fan who was surrounded by the daughters of noble families and students, Sumo smiled and said, we just met. He is a nice guy who is always willing to help others. Well, treasure hunting is good. Chapter 85. The focus of the audience, winning over. At this time, the open-air hall was filled with soft light, the decorations were classical and luxurious, and light music was pleasant to the ears. Inside the hall, groups of 2 or 3 students were chatting happily. The students from aristocratic families were very graceful and natural in their manners. Students from ordinary families seemed a little restrained when faced with such a large occasion. Let's go in too. As Sumo and the others officially stepped into the open-air hall, the gazes that had been watching for a long time immediately turned towards them. Is he Sumo? He is indeed a handsome man. She really deserves to be the top candidate for this year's freshman competition. I haven't seen a silver-level student appear in the freshman competition for a long time. Moreover, this freshman competition was held earlier, and the time given to them was short. This person was able to advance to the silver level in just 1 month, and his combat power is ridiculous. It's really amazing, and he has a bright future. I think our Taikyo University's Mo fan still has a good chance. After all, he has dual abilities, and his 9 Heavens Thunder is the ultimate attack of the Thunder element. Coupled with his fast self-healing ability, he still has a chance when he fully explodes. After all, he hasn't even shown much of his strength yet, but he has already beaten a group of sophomore Silver Realm students into the infirmary. It's hard to say. The strength shown by Sumo is too despairing. Mo fan does have the possibility of competing for the top spot, but the chances are slim. Let's go and meet this shining star. Soon, some noble leaders and military personnel came over with smiles on their faces. Some people even had ulterior motives and walked slowly over with their daughters. The little girls followed their elders and looked at Sumo quietly, feeling extremely shy. After a while, a middle-aged woman with a heroic appearance came up to Sumo and said with a smile, "Su Xiaoyu, do you still remember the teacher?" Behind the middle-aged woman, there was a young girl in a light yellow long dress, with a shy look on her oval face. Sumo chuckled. "Kaido, Teacher Wei, how could I not remember you? Thank you for your hard work in coming to Tianai City last month." The person who came was Wei Fang, the special recruitment teacher from Zhongzhou University who had come to Tianai City with Yan Yun to recruit him. Before leaving, she also said that she would introduce her daughter to him during the freshman competition. The oval-faced girl next to her must be her daughter. Alas, if I had known that you were even more evil than I imagined, I would not have let that stinky girl Yan Yun take you away from me. Hearing Sumo's words, Wei Fang cursed fiercely. Fortunately, the damn girl behind didn't recruit anyone else, otherwise I would be so angry that I would die. Fortunately, Yan Yun had already gone to greet other acquaintances at this time, otherwise there would definitely be a big battle between women between the two. After saying this sourly, Teacher Wei Fang then pulled the cute girl aside with a smile on her face. Advertisement. He introduced her kindly. "This is the teacher's daughter, Wei Ling-er. We are both young people, please get to know each other." As he spoke, he glanced at his daughter. Wei Ling-er's face was flushed at this time, and she looked at Sumo shyly, but she still handed Sumo a glass of red wine. She looked at Sumo and said in a voice as soft as a mosquito, "Senior Su, please give me your guidance in the freshman competition." Ding. Taking the red wine and clinking glasses with the shy girl, Sumo smiled and said, "Well, let's cheer together." Looking at Sumo's smile, the girl blushed even more. She didn't know what to say and looked at Wei Fang quietly. This made Wei Fang look very disappointed. "My daughter. You are so flirting. Teacher Wei, you're really quick." At this time, 3 more people came to Sumo, also bringing with them girls who were dressed differently but quite pretty. It turned out that they were the other 3 teachers who were specially recruited to Tianai City. Mr. Zhao Feng from Zhongnan University, today he is not as sloppy and carefree as he was before. Teacher Wang Dehai of Wulin University has white hair and beard, but he is still so energetic. Mr. Zhou Yu from Taikyo University still has a buzz cut. Next to the 3 of them were 3 girls of the same age as Sumo, who all looked at Sumo curiously. Some are shy, some are bold, some are lively, they have different personalities. Ever since Wei Fang reminded them that day, the 3 teachers have wanted to introduce their daughters, granddaughters and nieces to Sumo. Especially after learning about Sumo's deeds and performance through the media, I was filled with regret. I hate Yan Yun so much. Now that they finally meet again, they naturally drag their babies over to flirt, and get to know Sumo. Moreover, these girls are not ordinary. At best, they are all genius girls with A-level talents. Especially the girl in the purple long dress that Zhou Yu brought over, she is one of the special recruits of Dijing City this time, and she is the most lively and active girl. The girl looked Sumo up and down, then stretched out her white jade right hand and said with a charming smile, "Senior Su, my name is Zhou Qianyuan. When my uncle went back last time, he told me how great you are. Now I see that you are much better than Senior Mo. With the emergence of the 2 perverts like you this year, we S-level students seem so ordinary." Sumo stretched out her hand and shook it. She immediately felt a soft and delicate touch. She chuckled and said, "Xiaomei Zhou, you are too kind. Brother Mo Fan's dual abilities also put a lot of pressure on me. I am just lucky to be ahead now. Maybe he will surpass me in the future. You are also very good." Don't underestimate yourselves. Hee, senior, you are so humble. Just call me Qianyuan. Advertisement. Zhou Yu was delighted by his niece's friendly behavior. He glanced at Wei Fang and the other two secretly, with a smile on his face. The meaning in his eyes seemed to be saying, your baby is not very good, look at mine, his hands are clenched, but yours is still blushing, how can you play with me? His extremely shameless appearance immediately made Wei Fang and the other two so angry that they gritted their teeth and signaled their girls to work harder. Soon, more and more people gathered around Sumo, bringing their girls to meet Sumo, all of them enthusiastically. Shang Wushang, the evil monster with the mad blood golden lion, was also surrounded by some people who had heard about him. But compared with Sumo's calm and composed appearance, this guy seemed a little bit inferior. His face was red and he stuttered when talking to the girl. As for Chen Durong, he was drinking red wine alone, looking at his two brothers with envy. When Chen Durong was in Tianai City, he attended banquets and many daughters of wealthy families came to chat with him. When you reach this level, you become invisible and it's uncomfortable. At this time, Shangguan Xinghong, who had just greeted an acquaintance, looked at Sumo, who was surrounded by a group of beautiful girls, and fell silent. He said with a look of toothache, I know my brother-in-law is very popular, but I didn't expect that he would be so popular. I hope he can resist the temptation. I was like this at the beginning, being seduced by a group of. Sensing the sudden increase in strength of the hand that was holding him and Yan Qing's terrifyingly beautiful expression, Shangguan Xinghong fell silent. With a satisfied smile, Yan Qing turned to look at Shangguan Feiyan and said earnestly, Feiyan, go ahead and declare your sovereignty. I have seen through this fellow Su Shuidi. He seems to be a very good person on the surface, but he is a dullard when it comes to emotions. Yi Xiaoshui on the side also said unhappily, hey, that stinky junior actually shook hands with another girl. He was so brutal when he beat a woman, but when he was gentle, he would chat with the girl endlessly. Feiyan, you should keep an eye on him, be careful that he gets confused and abducted. Shangguan Xinghong looked at her in disbelief. Yi girl, you. Humph, I know myself well. Being stared at by the three, Shangguan Feiyan's beautiful eyes were obviously a little confused at this time. Junior, he is just saying hello to someone. Yan Qing was speechless. They are all made of wood. Fei Yan, do you still want him to teach you how to cook? Think, so you want him to cook for other girls all his life and have no time to teach you how to cook? No, I don't want to. Why don't you go now? As Yan Qing's voice fell, Shangguan Feiyan's body trembled, then she bit her red lips and walked gracefully in the direction of Sumo. Her impressive figure, charming temperament, and beautiful facial features immediately attracted the attention of many young people present, who looked at her with admiration. Chapter 86. Claiming sovereignty, facing the king for the first time. At this moment, in the open-air hall, Sumo and Mo Fan were the most dazzling among the group of young people. Especially Sumo, people kept coming to win her over, and little girls followed one after another, led by their elders. Some young female students who come from ordinary backgrounds but have good talents are a little shy. They didn't dare to go forward alone, so they came together in groups of 2 or 3. It's really that Sumo's video is so attractive. The way he faces thousands of monsters alone is so impressive. So manly. It gives a sense of security and is very attractive to these young girls who are just beginning to fall in love. Ding. After having another glass of red wine with a young girl who wanted to get to know him, Sumo was already feeling like running away. The negative energy around here is really too heavy. If it weren't for the willpower cultivated over the years and the natural body fragrance of the girls around, a normal person would definitely not be able to resist. Junior, the principal and his friends said they want to see you. Let's go. At this moment, an ethereal and gentle voice came from behind. Sumo turned around and was stunned. Senior. Shangguan Feiyan was seen pushing aside the group of girls. Her proud figure and facial features made her stand out from the crowd. Ku and K Chun Jen are not joking. Once they stand together, the difference is obvious. It's not that these talented girls have bad figures or are not good looking. No matter which city they are placed in, they are at least goddess level. Especially Zhou Qianyuan, her score was at least over 90 points. But when they are compared with Shangguan Feiyan's perfect figure and appearance, there is an obvious difference. Some are beautiful, but flat. Some are plump, but with a little extra fat. Only Shangguan Feiyan has a perfect body proportion. She has flesh where it should be, and absolutely no flesh where it shouldn't be. Coupled with her pair of narrow and bright eyes, she is indeed more attractive than these slightly immature girls. At this time, these girls looked at Shangguan Feiyan who suddenly appeared, and they felt the pressure. Of course they knew Shangguan Feiyan, she was the top of the last freshman competition. He is even the idol of some of these girls. She is the true pride of Magic City University. Advertisement. Senior, please talk to us again. Yes, senior, the banquet has just begun, there is no need to rush, let's chat for a while. Some of the lively girls immediately started to act coquettishly, trying to attract Sumo's attention and keep Sumo. Zhou Qianyuan's beautiful eyes revealed a hint of cunning, and with a sly smile she stretched out her arms to hold Sumo. However, an arm with skin as white as jade and even whiter than jade had already grabbed Sumo's arm before her. It's Shangguan Feiyan. Smelling the body fragrance approaching, Sumo was stunned. Senior. What happened to senior sister? This is the first time I've seen her take the initiative. Some time ago, they were indeed able to talk more when discussing cooking skills, but has the development really been so fast? I don't understand. He had never been in love in his previous life, so he was very confused at this moment. Shangguan Feiyan's ears were red at this time. She looked directly into Sumo's eyes and said in a voice as soft as a mosquito, "Let's go." Nodding confusedly, Sumo then left with Shangguan Feiyan and walked towards the group of principals including Feng Xiaoyao. The pretty faces of the girls behind him immediately showed expressions of pity. Wei Fang sighed. This girl has a boyfriend. Zhou Yu touched his short hair and smiled. It's not like we're already married. As long as we're not married, there's still a chance. Besides, this is not the era of monogamy. If I can't be the first, I can be the second, right, everyone? All of a sudden, all the high-ranking officials nearby showed a smile that showed you know what I mean. Some girls naturally knew this truth, so there was no frustration in their eyes from beginning to end. They still looked at Sumo with bright eyes, and no one knew what was going on in their heads. On the way to the group of principals, Shangguan Feiyan and Sumo held each other's arms. They are of similar height, the man is handsome and unique, and the woman is charming and attractive, just like a pair of immortal lovers. But at this time, both of them were silent, with no intention of letting go, and they just walked quietly like this. Feng Xiaoyao, who was far away, naturally saw what had just happened and his mouth was grinning. He waved to the two of them with satisfaction. Come here quickly, young couple. Sumo, who was far away, heard this and his face darkened. Even the principal was teasing them. He couldn't explain it. Advertisement. When he got closer, Feng Xiaoyao grinned and said, "Well done, Feiyan, you didn't let this kid get kidnapped." Sumo was speechless. What are you thinking about, principal? I'm just saying hello to a teacher I know. Saying hello means shaking hands with other girls one by one. They all reached out their hands, so it was natural to respond out of politeness. Humph. I'm afraid you'll be bewitched and then be kidnapped into the school of these guys. Feng Xiaoyao pouted and pointed at the people in front of him, one of whom was Vice President Guo of Zhongzhou University. A few other people. The middle-aged man dressed like a scholar should be the president of Zhongnan University, Song Shusong. He is called the future Sword King. His swordsmanship has reached an extraordinary level, coupled with that unique special ability, the sword energy is shocking. The woman whose face is covered by a veil but whose temperament and charm remain, must be Ling Manqing, the president of Wulin University. At this time, the space around Principal Ling was clearly emitting ripples. A dreamy atmosphere filled the air. The last old man with ordinary face was the one that frightened Sumo the most, it could even be said that he was terrified. He was clearly standing in front of Sumo, but to Sumo it felt as if he didn't exist, without any breath, but she could sense it carefully. You will find that a huge pressure is coming towards you. Suddenly, Sumo no longer felt the old man's presence. It was too scary. Who is this old man? Much more terrifying than the other principals. The ordinary-looking old man was also looking at Sumo, and smiled kindly. Not bad, you can actually keep your mind steady. You are indeed much stronger than that little guy Mo Fan. You are a demon. Feng Xiaoyao looked at Sumo who looked puzzled, and immediately introduced him with a smile. It's normal that you don't know him. This is the former president of Taikyo University, Senior Wan Tianlu. When you little guys were not even born, Senior Wan had already become famous and practiced in seclusion for many years. And you were able to keep your composure under the aura of a powerful king. This principal is very pleased. Just now, we old guys were betting on whether you could hold on. Ha 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 ha. Not bad, not bad. You have made Magic City University proud. Be crowned king. This old man is actually a king. Hearing this, Sumo's eyes widened. It was the first time he had seen a powerful king. If he had continued to sense it more deeply, he would have been overwhelmed by the momentum. Become a king, be crowned a king, it's really so terrifying. Chapter 87. Suspicious Mo Fan. Shocked, Sumo and Shangguan Feiyan immediately said respectfully to the old man, "Hello, Senior Wan." Then, he greeted each principal one by one. Wan Tianlu nodded, stroked his white beard and smiled. They really look like a young couple greeting their parents. Suddenly, Sumo and Shangguan Feiyan's faces turned red. Ha ha ha. Principal Guo Zhong and others couldn't help but smile at each other. Looking at the two of them, they sighed with emotion. It's great to be young. Now, Su and Mo felt even more embarrassed. Even Feng Xiaoyao, the headmaster of his own school, teased him again. Xiao Su, I had a small talk with Lao Feng last time. He was very satisfied with you and even said that he wanted to meet you someday. By then, it will be a real meeting with your parents. The Lao Feng he mentioned is none other than the current head of the Shangguan family, Shangguan Feng, who is also a big shot. He is also the biological father of Shangguan Qinghong and Shangguan Feiyan. Meet the parents. My goodness, why is the topic getting more and more off topic? Su Mo was speechless. After chatting with the principals for a while, the two of them walked towards Yi Xiaoshui and others. Wan Tianlu's old face had been watching the two people go away, and he smiled with satisfaction. although the current situation of our human race is not optimistic, but in terms of talent, it is indeed getting better and better. As long as we old guys take good care of these little guys, in time, our human race will definitely be able to step into those unknown places. Hearing this, Feng Xiaoyao and others nodded heavily. As long as hope is not extinguished, they humans still have a chance. Tisk tisk, how sweet. Coming closer, Shangguan Qinghong looked at the two of them with a smile on her face. Yanqing also covered her mouth and smiled. Yi Xiaoshui immediately stepped forward and held Shangguan Feiyan's other arm, saying aggrievedly, Feiyan, I'm sore. Looking at the ambiguous gazes of the crowd, Sumo coughed lightly, then looked at Shangguan Feiyan. Senior sister, eat something first. Advertisement. Yeah, Shangguan Feiyan nodded gently, her heart still beating fast since the moment she held Sumo's arm. This feeling is so strange, but not annoying at all. Soon, the banquet officially began. On the central stage, a host sent by the government looked at the crowd below with a smile on his face. He held the microphone and said happily, Ladies and gentlemen, next is the singing and dancing session. Please hold your beloved ladies' hands and prepare to start a beautiful dance. The words fell. In the center of the open-air hall, there is a meter-high and very wide stage, with lights shining down and soft singing filling the air. After a while, some girls and boys, all with smiles on their faces, set foot happily with their partners. It exudes a youthful vitality. At this moment, the group of girls who just wanted to get to know Sumo all cast wolf-like and ferocious glances at him. The desire in his eyes is self-evident. Yan Qing chuckled and said, They all want to dance with you, Sumo. Sumo suddenly looked embarrassed. Senior, they are destined to be disappointed this time because I can't dance. He really couldn't dance this kind of waltz ballroom dance, not to mention his previous life, he had never danced it in this life either. After all, he had to practice, so he didn't have the time to learn this kind of social dance. Besides, no girl was willing to dance with him before. But just as he finished speaking, he felt the familiar touch again, and Shangguan Feiyan took his arm again. The beautiful lady said softly with her beautiful face, My junior taught me how to cook a while ago, and now I will teach you how to dance, and I will take you with me. Having said that, he pulled Sumo onto the stage. It made those little girls who kept staring at Sumo mad. Shangguan Qinghong looked at the two people walking onto the stage and grinned, Okay, my sister has finally gotten the hang of it. Stop laughing, we're leaving too. Holding Shangguan Qinghong, Yanqing followed behind Sumo with a smile on her face. Yi Xiaoshui stomped her feet and caught up with Sumo and the others. Taking Sumo's other arm, she snorted, I used to accompany Fei Yan to the dance banquets, but now that you've taken her away, I can only dance with the two of you. So, Sumo was held hands by the two girls and started practicing with them. For a moment, I don't know how many people were envious to death. Advertisement. At this time, Cheng Wushong was also being taught to dance by a pretty girl. Even Chen Durong was invited by a girl from an ordinary school, and the two of them seemed to get along well. At first, they were like transparent little things, eating quietly, but unexpectedly they bumped into each other accidentally and fell to the ground. Then he apologized quickly and we actually started chatting. It was a bit cheesy, but we actually got along well. Soft singing filled the air. At this moment, a group of young boys and girls were dancing on the stage, exuding youthful energy. Sumo was unfamiliar at first, but gradually he adapted to the two girls. The handsome man and beautiful woman were very eye-catching. At this time, two figures passed by him. They were Mo Fan and a beautiful girl. The two men's eyes met for a moment, and they nodded and chuckled. Sumo then withdrew his gaze and continued dancing with Shangguan Feiyan and the other girl, but the corners of his mouth were slightly raised. Good job. This guy Mo Fan is still observing him. He is truly a man who has the template of a protagonist. He is full of suspicion when faced with things that are beyond his control. That's right, at this moment Mo Fan was extremely confused and had been daydreaming about Sumo's existence. In his previous life, he really had never heard of Sumo. When he awakened the single superpower of Nine Skies Sky Thunder, he became the most enchanting existence. No one could suppress his brilliance. Until he became the ultimate king, he did not find such a figure as Sumo in his social circle. Although he died for some reason in the end, he also gained great benefits. He was reborn and even his talent was far better than before. Could it be that because of my rebirth, the world line has changed? Only this explanation can make sense. Looking at Sumo, Mo Fan's lips curled up slightly, his eyes were filled with endless fighting spirit, and he murmured, In my previous life, I was able to become the strongest human being to reach the limit. In this life, my talent has reached a higher level. With that thing, I will definitely be able to take that step. No one can beat me. You can't either. The charming young lady next to him saw him in a daze, and immediately flicked his forehead with her jade hand, smiling sweetly, Avon, what are you thinking about? Mo Fan immediately withdrew his gaze, looked at the girl gently, and chuckled, Nothing, didn't I just meet brother Sumo? I was just impressed by his talent. I still need to work hard. Hee, you are already in this situation, but you are still working hard. If you are not pretending to be a pig and eating the tiger, then Sumo is not your opponent. You are just too modest. The girl immediately revealed a pair of cute dimples and encouraged, "My Avon is the best." "Thank you, Yao." Looking at the girl, Mo Fan felt warm in his heart and made a secret vow in his heart. In this life, he would never let the woman he truly loved sacrifice herself in front of him again, never. Chapter 88 Freshman Competition begins. The next day, as soon as the morning light came out, the entire imperial capital city was filled with an extremely lively atmosphere. Because today, the freshman competition officially begins. First there is the preliminaries, followed by the main race, team race, university relay race, etc. When they thought about seeing the geniuses from various universities competing against each other, both the locals of Taikyo City and the spectators from outside were excited and couldn't sleep all night. So, after getting up early, they all rushed to the Qingtian Shengwu Arena in Dijing City. There is the stage for this freshman competition, the largest and most well-equipped competition arena in Dijing City. A fighting arena large enough to accommodate 1 million people. All-round live broadcast, 4D viewing effect without blind spots, and luxurious seats with massage function. Of course, if you want the most comfortable experience, the more expensive the ticket. Ordinary mortals can only sigh in despair, and it is even difficult for them to qualify to enter the Qingtian Shengwu Arena. I can only watch the live broadcast from outside. As for ordinary people with some status, they had naturally bought their tickets early, but they could only get the seats at the back. After all, the awakened ones had grabbed the tickets earlier than them. At this time, there was a huge crowd of people outside the Qingtian Shengwu stage. FK. What if I can't get a ticket? It can only accommodate 1 million people, and the tickets have already been sold out. Damn it. Are we just going to have to watch the live broadcast from outside? I can't accept this. We finally get to come to the imperial capital. Brothers, I can warm the bed. My skills are great. If any brother gives me a ticket, I will be yours tonight. Get lost. Is your ability to warm the bed more important than the ticket? I can also play the flute for my brothers to enjoy. Woohoo. I really want to go in and see the heroic figures of Master Sumo and Master Mo Fan. Who has tickets? I'll charge you 3 times the price. 3 times. If you're poor, stop pretending. I'll give you 10 times. They are all scum. Lousy 20 times. My father is a senior executive of XX Group. I hope you brothers will give me some face. I'm giving you a lot of face. My dad is still a XX. Outside the majestic and ancient Qingtian Shengwu Terrace, there were many cars parked at this time. Those who had tickets were secretly proud of themselves and hid themselves tightly. Those who didn't have tickets looked anxious and tried every possible way to get one. In short, the scene was chaotic for a while, and it was not until the government managers came that the situation improved a little. And soon, the all-round live broadcast system outside was also turned on one after another, covering the entire environment outside the Qingtian Shengwu stage. Advertisement. Suddenly, all human beings who had been waiting in front of the TV for a long time were extremely excited. It's finally about to begin. Wow, there are so many people here. I envy them so much. I want to go to Taikyo City myself. I heard that the tickets seemed to be quite expensive, and they were sold out within a few minutes of being released. It's really scary. Don't you think so? This is a grand event for the most outstanding geniuses of our human race. The government takes it very seriously. Ha ha ha. My brother is one of the contestants this time. Come on, fellow juniors. You must bring glory to our glorious university. Go Xingyang University. Go Shiguang University. As the live broadcast screen lit up, a barrage of comments came pouring out. If the system server wasn't powerful enough, it would definitely not be able to accommodate so many people. At this time, in Shungshan Hotel, Sumo and others also got up early in order to distinguish the 10 students from each participating school. They will all wear special combat uniforms marked with the logo of their own school, which are perfect in terms of stretch and are very slim-fitting. They were from the Magic City University, and they wore a black full-body combat uniform with gold edges, and a light-colored tight-fitting long shirt on the outside. He looks a bit cold, yet also a bit domineering, which is very pleasing to the eye. At this time, Sumo and his 10 colleagues had just walked out of the room, and Shangguan Qinghong and other seniors' eyes lit up. Yan Yun came closer, looking Sumo up and down, and said proudly with a beautiful face, "You are worthy of being the man I brought back. You are so handsome. I am fascinated by you." Here comes the dirty talk part. Sumo's mouth twitched. "Teacher, we are outside, be serious." Yan Yun smiled repeatedly and looked at Sumo with satisfaction. Yeah, the teacher is very serious. If you didn't make such a seductive sound, you would be very serious indeed. Everyone was complaining inwardly. You're all ready, right? Let's go. Suddenly, a breeze blew by, and Feng Xiaoyao looked at Sumo and the other 10 people with satisfaction. Soon, everyone drove towards Qingtian Shenggutai in a luxurious psychic car. At this time, various universities also set out from the hotel one after another, and for a while, the air was filled with psychic vehicles. There are tens of thousands of universities participating in this competition, and these are the ones that meet the minimum qualifications. Advertisement. Students are required to reach C-level talent. The rest of the universities that fail to meet the standards will not be able to come and can only receive basic resources distributed by the government afterwards. There is no way. Reality is so cruel. Resources are limited and we cannot take care of everything. Unless the school can grab students in subsequent enrollments, it will have to continue to use up basic resources. In other words, they are not even qualified to compete. After a while, everyone came to the Qingtian Shengwu stage, and the place was bustling with noise. Looking down from above, there was a surge of people waiting for the arrival of various universities. At this time, the government had already arranged the order on the scene in an orderly manner. There were aisles leading to the Shengwu stage, and the eyes of the audience on both sides were burning with excitement. Everyone wants to take a closer look at the talented students from various universities. After the psychic car landed, Sumo and others got out and walked slowly towards the aisle. We're at Magic City University. Suddenly, the government personnel who were responsible for maintaining order in this corridor started shouting to increase the momentum of their Magic City University. But to Sumo, it sounded a bit awkward. However, the audience on both sides went crazy. Ah, here they come. Here they come. Demon City University is here. Sisters, I saw Master Sumo. He's so handsome. He's much more handsome in person than in the video. Ah, I can't take it anymore. Master Sumo, come on. You must strive to win the first place in this freshman competition. Our support team will help you. Sisters and brothers, shout out. Sumo adult stick. Sumo adult real stick. Sumo adult stick stick stick. Ah, how embarrassing. But for Susu, I tried my best. Susu is awesome. Listening to the voices of support from both sides, although Sumo felt ashamed, he still smiled and nodded in response. Since others are supporting him so hard, it is natural for him to respond. But Li Tianyi and others behind him felt a little jealous. If it were normal times, they would definitely cheer. But because of the presence of the pervert Sumo, their brilliance is completely overshadowed. It's sad. There are people supporting the special admission students of the other 4 top universities, including Shanghai University. They are all supporting Sumo. Alas, there is nothing we can do. It's because Sumo's performance some time ago was so outstanding that most people only paid attention to him. Uncomfortable. Chapter 89 The Strongest Man's First Match, enough for the show. The support was powerful, and the echoes could be heard even after Sumo and the others had walked into the passage of Qingtian Shengwutai. In the corridor, Cheng Wushang looked at Sumo with envy. Brother Mo, I have seen something today. I thought you had the most female fans, but your male fans are also exaggerated. You are popular with both men and women. Li Tianyi and others who followed behind nodded in agreement. Those young boys who had tears in their eyes just now and looked so red-faced and thick-necked were simply deadly. He shouted. Brother Mo, you are so manly when you kill monsters, you are my brother. They were all passionate young men who were shocked by Sumo's domineering appearance in killing monsters. Of course, there were also those who were attracted by the former's appearance. Shaking his head, Sumo chuckled and said, you'll get used to it. Quote. Cheng Wushang. Brother Mo, you are such a show-off. Li Tianyi. It's uncomfortable. Ning Kiki. Hee, senior is so annoying, he always likes to criticize others. Marong Z. Soon, everyone walked out of the passage, and with a flash of light, a large and wide arena suddenly came into view. There are stepped observation decks all around, and it is difficult to see the end at a glance. It really is worthy of being a fighting arena that can accommodate 1 million people, it is so magnificent and majestic. These observation platforms include luxurious individual areas, those connected as a whole, and even a second level suspended in the air like small islands. That is the most honorable platform of the Qingtian Shengwu platform, the Tianzi platform, where some big shots sit. Their Magic City University naturally has a Tianzi observation deck. At this time, various universities have entered the passages around Qingtian Shengwutai one after another and have been arranged in corresponding positions. Sumo and others were quickly taken to the Tianzi platform by the staff and went up on a psychic levitation device. The students from the ordinary university below immediately looked at them with envy. It's great to be able to overlook everything, the layout is very impressive. A total of tens of thousands of universities soon joined in, spread all over the world. Those with higher status have separate areas. The ordinary ones are in a small area in the front row, with the audience behind them. But no matter where they are, they can immediately board the psychic levitation device floating around and be sent to the arena. Absolutely high-tech and extremely convenient. Yes, the environment is quite good. As soon as she took the throne, Shengguan Qinghong looked very satisfied. Advertisement. There were all kinds of facilities up there, and the view was perfect, so you could see most of the fighting arena below. Even if you can't see it, there is an all-round projection, so you don't have to worry about missing out on capturing details. The best part is that there are etiquette ladies serving you, food and drinks are provided, and the seats are comfortable, so you don't have to do anything yourself. Corruption. Everyone, please take your seats. A lady of etiquette who seemed to be the team leader immediately smiled sweetly and respectfully invited Feng Xiaoyao and others to take a seat. The pretty ladies behind him immediately brought plates of snacks and drinks. Look at the young ladies working hard to serve all kinds of exquisite food, and the chair that is more comfortable than a lazy chair. Sumo couldn't help but feel dazed. What the hell is this treatment like that of an emperor? Do you have to be so real? There will be a competition next. Is it really okay to enjoy it so decadently? Thinking about it, he sat down quickly, and then, he looked relieved. So comfortable. At this time, outside the Qingtian Shengwu stage. Okay, you can enter now. Those who have tickets, come and check them. The government staff shouted to the audience who had already been unable to wait any longer. Those with luxury seats, please come in first. Yes, it's still so real. The advanced ticket prices are high, although real, but definitely in order. After a while, everyone entered the Qingtian Shengwu arena. Wow, is this the interior of Shengwutai? It's full of classic and technological atmosphere, so cool. I'm in the 1868th row. Let's go and find a seat. What the hell are those island-like platforms above us? Can we go up and take a look? What are you dreaming about? That's the top seat. Only big shots can sit there, as well as the top 5 schools and some key universities. Forget it. Just go find a seat. As millions of people entered the Qingtian Shengwu stage, there was a sudden bustle of noise and excitement as everyone talked. At this moment, an old man suddenly appeared in the middle of the air with a smile on his face. His aura is extremely powerful, he must be a powerful diamond warrior. Advertisement. After he glanced around, he said, "Everyone, be quiet." The words fell. The noise gradually stopped. The old man nodded and continued, "I am one of the referees for this freshman competition. First of all, thank you all for coming all the way to the imperial capital to watch this freshman competition. Next, I will not waste any more words and will directly announce the rules of the freshman competition. As always, our previous freshman competitions were ranked based on points, and this time is no exception. It is divided into preliminaries, finals, team competitions, relay races, etc. In the following period of time, all rankings will be based on points until the final competition to determine the ranking of a school. And personal honor, the competition for the top 100, top 50, top 10, and top of the list. Now let's talk about the upcoming preliminaries first. The system will randomly select 2 students to compete. The winning side will get some points. There will be 2 rounds, or 20 times, and every student will have a chance. So, participating students, please go to the system in front of your area to register your name and wait for the system's arrangement. Quote. After these words were spoken, all participating students became extremely nervous. This qualifying round is very luck intensive. Although the system will not deliberately arrange strong universities to compete against weak universities, this possibility does occur. In the past, some universities were very unlucky and were matched with completely unmatched universities. They had 20 chances but couldn't get a single point. It's horrible. 10 minutes later, students from all universities, including Sumo and others, had completed the entry. Match successful, the first match officially begins. From the open sky above the arena, an electronic prompt from the system suddenly sounded. Then, on the screen in front of each university, the list of names for the first competition popped up. Looking at the screen, Sumo was stunned. My first game. Mudu University's Tianzizutai. Everyone immediately looked at Sumo with a strange expression. The strongest person comes first. Sure, that's decent enough. Cheng Wushang grinned and said, Brother Mo, please be gentler and don't kick us with that kind of force. We can bear it, but others may not be able to withstand it. Li Tianyi and others looked at Sumo and nodded involuntarily. Sumo's ruthless kick had already left them traumatized, especially Ning Kiki, who looked down at her chest. She was just very angry. She was almost stunted after being kicked by her senior last time. This senior is so cruel. Chapter 90. Defeat the enemy with charm, Cheng Wushang vs Mo Fan. Sitting on the chair, Feng Xiaoyao had already removed the green light, and a smile appeared on his handsome face. Xiao Su, this is our first game at Magic City University, you know, of course, don't be too heavy-handed. Shangguan Qinghong bit an apple and said incoherently, Brother-in-law, just kill him in seconds, don't use too much force. Yan Yun lay on the luxurious chair, crossing her legs like a queen. Brother, go quickly and come back soon. Good job. One by one, don't you give others face. He kept saying, kill people in 1 second, and asked his men to show mercy. Well, he really had to show mercy. The rules said that no one could be killed. Sumo had such terrifying physical strength at this moment. Even if you don't use psychic powers or supernatural powers, it would be bad if you lose focus and fail to control your strength. Don't worry, I will show mercy. Having said that, Sumo stood up and walked towards the psychic levitation device. As to whether it was true mercy or false mercy, that depends on the attitude of the guy or girl on the other side. Oh shit, it's Sumo-sama's name. He's actually in the first round. Ah, so excited. Really, I don't know who is the unlucky guy on the other side. He met Sumo in the first game. Let's mourn for him for 10 minutes. Look at the name, it seems to be a young lady. Let's mourn for the young lady. Wow, this sister is so miserable, but also so happy. If I were her, I would definitely pretend to be this and that, and then take advantage of Master Sumo without anyone noticing. Ah, so shameful. Sister, great minds think alike. I think so too. +1, comma. Soon, the support group that had been watching Sumo started screaming wildly. Some of the audience around also began to notice this scene. Immediately, the internal personnel who controlled the system also made adjustments wisely. On the all-round screen in the center, Sumo's fighting arena was immediately reflected. The focus person must pay attention to. The next screen showed the rest of the contestants, spread all around the sky, fully displayed. At this moment, on the competition stage that was receiving special attention, a young girl was standing on the arena with an excited look on her face. There was no despair at all on her expression at this moment. That's right. Instead of feeling desperate, he was actually extremely excited. After seeing that the person she was fighting against was Sumo from Magic City University, she jumped up from her seat. So excited. Well, she is a fan of Sumo-sama. So much so that now, she has thrown the school's sense of honor out of the window, wanting to have a good exchange with Master Sumo. Since she already knows that she can't win, why not enjoy it, right? As for how to enjoy it, that is naturally advertisement. Hehehehe. Thinking of this, the girl smiled like a crazy fan. This made Sumo, who had just landed on the arena, subconsciously take a step back. This girl seems a little abnormal. Master Sumo, wow. I'm your fan. I'm so lucky to have matched with you. I'm so happy. As she spoke, the girl trotted over and chattered nonstop beside Sumo. Sumo's mouth twitched. Girl, if your principal or teacher heard what you said, they would be furious. Helplessly, he could only remind her. Junior, we are in a competition, this is not good. It's okay. I may be level talent with a 3-star iron rank. I definitely can't beat you, Master Sumo. Here's a pen. I want an autograph, please. Looking at the pen handed to him and the girl who turned around and asked to sign her back, Sumo was speechless. Many normal viewers were also speechless. Of course, they can also understand the girl's behavior. Since there's absolutely no way I can win, asking for an autograph from the idol I admire seems pretty normal. Naturally, many pretty girls looked at this girl with envy, including many male compatriots. Sumo's autograph. Envious. On the competition stage. After signing, Sumo said helplessly, "Schoolgirl, have you figured out how to lose?" But the words were not yet finished. Ah, it's time for Sumo-sama's autograph. The girl in front of me just laughed excitedly. Then he fell backwards, lay on the ground, and then rolled off the arena with a happy look on his face. That's right. He rolled down the arena while murmured Sumo's name happily. One of the rules of the preliminaries is that once you fall off the arena, you lose the game. Turning to look at the referee standing on the sidelines, Sumo. Trial. The middle-aged referee was confused. After all these years, it's the first time I've seen such a, well, interesting game. A competition where you win by your looks and charm. After being stunned for a moment, the referee came back to his senses, coughed lightly and shouted, "Modu University, Sumo wins." In the audience, Sumo's supporters nodded in agreement. I can understand what this sister did. Of course, if it were me, I would choose to faint in the arms of Master Sumo. Well, after getting Susu's autograph, that sister should be very excited, that's normal. Advertisement. As for the university area where the girl was, the teacher who led the team was eager to find a crack to squeeze into. Back to the top. Shangguan Qinghong and other male compatriots immediately gave a thumbs up. Awesome. What a charm to defeat the enemy. This was a development they had never expected. Feng Xiaoyao coughed lightly and gave a thumbs up. Sometimes a person's temperament and charm are also a reflection of strength. Well done. You are worthy of being the freshman representative of our Magic City University. Yan Yun smiled sweetly. My brother's charm is naturally not something that those young sisters who are just beginning to fall in love can resist. I hope I can meet this group of girls next time. It will be effortless and my points will increase rapidly. Right, Feiyan. Hearing this, Shangguan Feiyan blushed. Junior brother is indeed very handsome, but I still hope that he will meet a strong opponent, because I believe that the strength gained by his hard work can defeat anyone and win the top spot. Oh my, our little Yan Yan is jealous. Teacher. Looking at the two women arguing because of him, Sumo quietly sat back in his seat. Never get involved in women's quarrels. Next, the system equipment in front of the stage matched the target for their Magic City University again. After a competition, regardless of whether you win or lose, the system will match you again, and you don't need to wait for other people's competitions. After a few seconds, two names appeared on the screen. Looking at the screen, everyone's eyes, including Sumo's, were fixed. Cheng Wushang. The other person is from Taikyo University. Mo Fan. Good job. In just the second game, their Magic City University collided with Taikyo University. And he happened to run into the famous super monster, Mo Fan, who has 2 superpowers. Seeing this, Sumo looked at Cheng Wushang and said softly, "Wushang, just do your best, don't force it." He knew his younger brother's character and knew he would never give up until he had pushed himself to the limit. However, facing a normal black iron 9-star peak, or even a silver awakener, Cheng Wushang might have a chance. But facing Mo Fan, in one word, difficult. It's just the peak of Black Iron 9 stars, the ultimate Thunder Elemental's powerful attack of the Nine Heavens Thunder. With this revealed strength, it would be difficult for Cheng Wuxiang to win. But you have to know that Mo Fan is a reborn person, and he has hidden his true cultivation and true second superpower, and maybe he has some treasure to help him. Although Cheng Wuxiang is the owner of the Mad Blood Golden Lion, to be honest, he has no chance of winning. At this moment, among all the freshmen present, he is probably the only one, Sumo. Only then can we cure this reborn person. Pretend to be a pig and eat the tiger versus pretend to be a pig and eat the tiger. Let's see whose tiger is more powerful. Chapter 91 Gap, Failure. Looking at Cheng Wuxiang, who was full of fighting spirit, Feng Xiaoyao also advised, the competition has just begun, Xiao Cheng, don't force it. Some time ago, when he went to Dijing City to discuss some things with Wan Tianlu and others, he met the evil little guy from Dijing University. Strength. Very strong. That terrifying Nine Heavens Sky Thunder not only had incredible destructive power, but it also allowed him to control it at will. If Sumo had not shown stronger strength later, he would have had to admit it even if he was unwilling to accept it. In this year's freshman competition, the top of the list should be the little guy named Mo Fan. Fortunately, their Shanghai University has a pervert named Sumo, so they can compete for the top spot this year. Standing up, Cheng Wuxiang grinned and said, Brother Mo, I'll go help you try him out. Shaking his head helplessly, Sumo's expression gradually became serious. I don't need you to help me try, remember, don't force it. I know. With a simple smile, Cheng Wuxiang walked towards the psychic levitation device, and then was taken to the arena. Seeing him like this, Sumo sighed. Principal, if things really don't work later, can we surrender? Feng Xiaoyao smiled and said, Don't worry, nothing will happen. We old guys are here. Nodding, Sumo turned his gaze to the main screen. At this time, because of Mo Fan's appearance, the scene was boiling, and the internal staff also made this competition the focus. It was projected on the main screen. In fact, even if it weren't for Mo Fan's popularity, the showdown between the special recruits of the two top universities is definitely worthy of being put on the home screen. Come on, Senior Mo Fan. Defeat the people from Magic City University. Ah, Fan, we sisters love you. Junior Mo Fan, I will always support you. You are definitely no less powerful than Sumo. Come on. I have inquired about Cheng Wuxiang. He seems to be the second-ranked special recruit of Magic City University this year. He is second only to Sumo. Even among the freshmen of our Imperial Capital University, his strength is enough to rank in the top 5. His supernatural power is the King of Beasts, the Wild Blood Golden Lion. Of course, no matter how powerful he is, his cultivation is only Black Iron 6 stars. He is not to be feared. He is definitely not a match for junior brother Mo Fan. Ha. It would be better to let Sumo come. A Mad Blood Golden Lion, it's really powerful, but Mo Fan is the ultimate thunder in the lightning element, the Nine Heavens Thunder. He is not inferior to him at all, and he even has a second ability to quickly heal himself. Cheng Wuxiang's cultivation is lower than Mo Fan's, and his talent is also inferior to Mo Fan's. How can we compare him? It's settled. This way, our Taikyo University will have 2 points. Haha, it's so cool to take points from Modu University. After all, the home court is in Dijing City, so at this moment, there are more people supporting Mo Fan than Sumo. Not only the students of Taikyo University, but also most of the local awakeners support Mo Fan. Advertisement. Even most of the ordinary people who were capable of entering the Qingtian Shengwu arena were cheering for Mo Fan and Taikyo University. Of course, Sumo had a lot of supporters as well. When they heard that their momentum was suppressed, they immediately became unhappy. Also started shouting wildly, Come on, Sumo's Jr. What's so great about having a loud voice? Brothers, let's start the trumpet. Hee. I'm a native of Dijing City. How can Mo Fan be more handsome than Master Sumo? Master Sumo is the most handsome. That's right. My heart will always belong to Susu. For a moment, the cheers at the scene were divided into several groups, but the loudest and most vigorous ones were the cheers from Taikyo University and Modo University, which completely covered the other schools. The most amazing thing is that most of the people who came to support Magic City University were native people from Taikyo City. Because of Sumo, they changed their jobs to cheer for Shanghai University, which shows that Sumo's popularity is still very high. Cheng Wuxiang. Slowly descending from the arena, Mo Fan listened to the shouts around him, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly, and a hint of weirdness appeared in his eyes. In the previous life, during the freshman competition, he had fought against this young man with the Mad Blood Golden Lion. This silly and honest young man is indeed very talented. But in the end, he was beaten so hard by Mo Fan that he couldn't even stand up. However, in this life, this guy seems to have become a lot stronger. According to my understanding, he has reached the level of Black Iron 6 stars. In his previous life, he just barely reached the Black Iron 5 star. Is it because of Sumo? I heard that Cheng Wuxiang and Sumo are very close. Could it be that because of Sumo, Cheng Wuxiang's world line has also changed? Sumo. With his eyes slightly narrowed, Mo Fan couldn't help but become even more suspicious of Sumo. At this time, Chang Wushang also landed on the arena. He looked across at Mo Fan, who was wearing a light silver combat uniform, with a serious expression. Of course, he took Mo Ji's words to heart and was absolutely not going to be careless, but he also wanted to test Mo Fan's strength. Roar. A loud lion roar was heard, and Chang Wushang immediately turned into a mad bloody golden lion. Advertisement. Haki's exposed body was immediately revealed. Due to the improvement of his cultivation, the lion's body that was originally more than 3 meters high now reached 4 meters. Mixed among the golden hairs were strands of blood-red hair, and the blood color of the pupils became more restrained. There is a murderous aura in the noble Haki. I have indeed become much stronger. Murmuring, Mo Fan suddenly asked curiously, Chang Wushang, what is your relationship with Su Mo? Chang Wushang grinned and said, want to find out about brother Mo? Mo Fan joked. That's about right. After all, Su Mo is a strong contender for the top spot. Chang Wushang curled his lips. That's what you said, but from your tone, it seems that you don't think so. You must be very dissatisfied with brother Mo, right? Mo Fan raised his lips slightly. My cultivation is higher than yours, so do you obey me? Ha 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 ha. I, Chang Wushang, will not submit to anyone except brother Mo. With a loud laugh, Chang Wushang immediately used the thunder movement technique and rushed towards Mo Fan like a ray of golden light, as fast as lightning. You don't accept anyone. Interesting, you are more confident than in your last life. But since you were suppressed by me once in your last life, what does it matter if you become stronger in this life? I can still suppress you at will. He smiled secretly, and with a loud bang, sky blue lightning suddenly exploded around Mo Fan's body, and then spread out. A terrifying aura filled the air. Standing in the center of the thunder, he was like a god of war wielding thunder. Facing Chang Wushang who pounced into the air, he just gently raised one hand. Suddenly, the golden claws collided fiercely with the palm filled with thunder. Bang! Sizzle! With a loud bang, the sky blue thunder instantly defeated the force of Chang Wushang's claw. Chang Wushang was about to use the force to retreat, but before he could react, he was directly spread throughout his body by the even faster Nine Heavens thunder. Like lightning snakes, they kept attacking and attacking Chang Wushang's body, causing him to twitch. Roar. A lion roared in pain, and Chang Wushang immediately activated all the spiritual power in his body. His golden hair exploded and he resisted the thunder. Looking at Chang Wushang who was frozen in midair by his Nine Heavens thunder and was resisting stubbornly, Mo Fan smiled and said, how is it, can you break free? Sitting on the podium at Modu University, Sumo watched the scene expressionlessly. With Mo Fan's strength, he should be able to kill Chang Wushang instantly, but he didn't do that. But chose this tortuous method. Do you think it's interesting? Or does he want to test Sumo through Chang Wushang? With his eyes narrowed slightly, Sumo looked quietly at the confident Mo Fan below, and then, smiled. Chapter 92 You abuse my brother, I abuse your sister. At this time on the arena, hearing Mo Fan's slightly contemptuous words, a flash of blood suddenly appeared in Cheng Wu's lion eyes. I won't let brother Mo down, never. Roar. After 2 consecutive roars, the wisps of blood-red hair on his body began to continuously emit streaks of blood, like a dream, but filled with murderous aura that continued to surge. And in the next moment, the spiritual energy in his body that had been continuously resisting the Nine Heavens sky thunder also suddenly surged. Promoted. Under such pressure and humiliation, Cheng Wushang was promoted to Black Iron 7 stars. He even activated a trace of the blood evil power of the Mad Blood Golden Lion in advance. Bang! The sudden burst of energy finally allowed him to break free from the restraints of the lightning snake. After a somersault in midair, he steadily distanced himself from Mo Fan and looked at him solemnly again. Oh, not only did he break through, but he also activated a bit of the power of the Mad Blood Golden Lion. That's interesting. Mo Fan was slightly surprised, but he didn't care. He smiled again and said, so, how do you want to defeat me? Confident and calm. This is the feeling that Mo Fan gave people at this moment. Without saying a word, Cheng Wushang rushed forward again. His strength at this time had definitely increased dramatically. But it is obviously not enough to deal with Mo Fan. But even if he knew he couldn't win, he wouldn't give up easily. Try everything first. This is Cheng Wushang's style. Surrounded by blood and murderous aura, Cheng Wushang was like a stream of golden light, constantly moving and flashing on the arena. When your strength is unmatched, you can only look for opportunities. You can't defeat me like this. Looking at Cheng Wushang running around, Mo Fan raised the corner of his mouth slightly and suddenly took a step forward with his right foot. Rumble. There was a loud thunder, and then his figure shot out like a bolt of lightning. Then he caught up with Cheng Wushang in the blink of an eye. Can you break free this time? Cheng Wushang was shocked and roared decisively. Roar. A terrifying sound wave instantly hit Mo Fan, and then his right claw, carrying a bloody light, slapped him fiercely. Advertisement. Show weakness and then counterattack. This is the moment Cheng Wushang has been waiting for. However, this fierce claw had the power to make the air whistle. However, it was still blocked in advance by a rapidly evolving ball of lightning. The thunder dissipated, revealing Mo Fan's calm face. This is a good opportunity, but it's a pity. After saying, Sizzle. The nine heavens thunder exploded again, covering Chang Wushang. Roar. The thunder, even more violent than the previous one, spread again. Chang Wushang roared unwillingly and tried to break free. But this time, it's obviously not that easy. With such power, even a Silver Realm Awakener would not be able to break free easily. I thought your promotion and activation of new powers would bring me some pleasure, but it seems that I thought too much. Shaking his head, Mo Fan looked at Chang Wushang and chuckled, but with your character, you will definitely not surrender, right? What should you do? Will you let me hurt you so badly that it will affect the rest of the game, or will you put aside your dignity and choose to surrender? Facing an opponent who is much stronger than you, enduring humiliation is also a good choice. A voice full of suppressed pain came out from Cheng Wushangxi's mouth. I will never surrender. As that's so, rumble. The nine heavens' heavenly thunder surged again, almost forming a thunder cocoon. Cheng Wushang inside groaned in pain, but refused to surrender and resisted stubbornly. Ha ha ha. This Cheng Wushang is so stupid. If it were me, facing an enemy that I couldn't defeat no matter what, I would definitely surrender if I had the chance. A man of insight is a hero. Don't you understand this? Perhaps it's the arrogance of being a genius that's playing tricks on me. How stupid. It's not shameful to lose to a genius who's more talented than me, right? Humph. He's just conceited. With this kind of personality, it would be good to teach him a lesson. But I think it would be better if Mo Fan killed him in 1 second. That would be more impressive. For this kind of stupid and conceited genius, I think this approach is correct and he should be suppressed. That's right. Ha 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 ha. The people at Magic City University should be feeling very uncomfortable right now, right? Comma. In the audience, most people looked at the scene of Cheng Wushang being tortured with a look of satisfaction on their faces. Mo Fan's invincible performance has inspired the hearts of the people at Taikyo University. In one word, awesome. The top figure in Mudu University is on the stage. Advertisement. At this time, Shangguan Qinghong and others looked very unhappy, but they were helpless. Because at this time, as long as Cheng Wushang does not surrender and is still able to fight, he cannot interfere with the game. The pain suffered was not fatal, but it was painful. The most disgusting thing is that Mo Fan didn't kill Cheng Wushang in 1 strike. How disgusting. Sumo slowly stood up, walked to the system equipment and turned on the communication system, and said softly, Wushang, you have broken your limit. I am very satisfied. Surrender, manly man. It's not like you haven't lost before. Your brother Mo was also abused by others when he was in high school. It's no big deal, just listen. In the thunder cocoon, Cheng Wushang was very unwilling, but after hearing Sumo's words, a struggle continued on his lion face. Finally, he seemed like a deflated balloon and said in frustration, I surrender. After removing the thunderbolt, Mo Fan smacked his lips and secretly exclaimed, Sumo has indeed changed you a lot. If this silly boy had followed his character in his previous life, he would have persisted until he could no longer hold on. And this time, he got the result he wanted. The world line was indeed changed. But it is only limited to Modu University, and only those who come into contact with Sumo will experience changes. This was good news. As long as major events didn't change, he had nothing to worry about. He secretly breathed a sigh of relief and returned to his seat at Taikyo University. Soon, Cheng Wushang also returned to Tianzitai with injuries, and the medical staff sent by the government immediately treated him. Looking at Cheng Wushang, who was covered in blood and numb from the electric shock, Sumo said helplessly, You are just a cow. Cheng Wushang lay in pain receiving treatment, aggrieved. I just don't want to embarrass our Modu University and you, brother Mo. If I lose, I should at least lose beautifully, right? Who knew? Alas, I am just too weak. In his current state, Cheng Wushang seemed unable to participate in the second round of the competition. After being stimulated by the Nine Heavens Thunder, his mechanical. It is obvious that he has not recovered yet. Even if the external injuries have been treated, he still needs to wait for a while. Mo Fan. With a cruel arc on his lips, Sumo restrained his anger a little and sat back in his chair quietly. Next, everyone from each university went through a competition to a greater or lesser extent, and the second round of screening officially began. At this moment, Sumo's eyes were fixed on the system screen. How I wish the person coming is the son of destiny. Definitely not killing them, just crippling them will be fine. After a while, 2 names appeared on the screen. First, it really is him, Sumo. The other person, by coincidence, was actually from Taikyo University, but he was not the Mo Fan he had been thinking about. But it was Qin Yao, the naive girl who had always followed Mo Fan around at the dance. Standing up, Sumo smiled and immediately stepped onto the psychic levitation device. Ever since he broke the delicate neck of that unknown girl in the Abyss territory. It has been a long time since I have been violent to a woman, right? Chapter 93. Reciprocity. Mo Fan is shivering with anger. Looking at Sumo's back and that sudden smile, Ning Kiki couldn't help but tremble. Subconsciously covering his chest, her pretty face tightened. That girl named Qin Yao is finished. Once the seniors get serious, they will show no mercy to women, especially when Senior Cheng was beaten like this. The violent outburst just now shocked her badly. A moment of silence for this girl who had a close relationship with Mo Fan. Amen. Feng Xiaoyao hesitated to speak, but still reminded. Xiao Su, I know you are very angry, but please be gentle. As long as she surrenders, I'll consider it. Standing on the psychic levitation device, Sumo didn't even turn his head. After leaving these words, he was sent to the competition arena. Hearing this, Feng Xiaoyao was stunned. If only she could surrender. This is not good. At this time, the Emperor of Taikyo University sat on the stage. Everyone looked at the name on the screen and was stunned. Sumo. They were at Taikyo University, but they actually met someone from Magic City University again, and it was the top-ranked preliminary candidate, Sumo. Sitting on the chair, Zhou Qianyuan crossed her slender legs, looked at Mo Fan, and said teasingly, Senior Mo, the way you treated Cheng Wushang in the last game, I'm afraid senior sister Qin Yao is doomed now. Mo Fan shook his head. It's a different matter. My fight with Cheng Wushang is between two men. Sumo shouldn't be that serious. Zhou Qianyuan's lips curled up slightly when she heard this. It seems that you really don't understand Senior Su. Senior Qin Yao, remember to surrender in time. It's not shameful. Sitting next to Mo Fan, Qin Yao obviously didn't realize the seriousness of the matter at this moment. She smiled lightly on her beautiful and lovely face, revealing two cute dimples as she looked at Mo Fan. Avon, don't worry, I will protect myself well. If I can't beat Sumo, I still have you. The final top spot will still be yours, Avon, hehe. Zhou Qianyuan on the side couldn't help but shook her head. Where on earth did this naive senior sister Qin get the confidence from? She actually thought that Mo Fan could definitely beat senior brother Su. It was true that it was impossible to understand what was in the head of a woman in love. Of course, if she knew that Mo Fan was just pretending to be a pig and eating the tiger, perhaps she would understand. However, if she also knew Sumo's true strength, maybe, I should think that this naive senior schoolmate is out of her mind, right? Mo Fan gently stroked Qin Yao's white forehead and said, be careful. If nothing works, just surrender. This Sumo is not simple. Just leave him to me. I know. Advertisement. Qin Yao nodded obediently and immediately stepped onto the psychic equipment. At this moment, the main screen naturally showed the scene of Sumo and Qin Yao heading to the martial arts arena. Magic City University and Taikyo University meet again. It's another focus battle. Ah, sisters and brothers, Master Sumo is on the scene again, shout. What a coincidence that I ran into the daughter of the Qin family. It seems that she is in a relationship with Mo Fan. This is exciting. Come on, brother Mo. Let that girl from Taikyo University see how powerful we men are. Based on my understanding of brother Mo, if that young lady is not a fan, then she is doomed, because in the previous friendly match at Modu University, the girl of heaven, Marong-zi, was sent to the infirmary. A moment of silence for the young lady. Humph. Su, I'm not the type who can't move when I see a woman, and senior sister Shangguan is much prettier than this Qin Yao. Yes, you all saw how Mo Fan bullied Cheng Wushang just now. So what if she's a girl? If I dare to treat someone close to me like this, I will definitely pay you back 100-fold. So, similar to those who supported Mo Fan before, the brothers and sisters in Sumo's support group couldn't help but feel superior. Because their Lord Sumo is qualified. On the other hand, the supporters of Taikyo University began to act sarcastic. Qin Yao is only a 6-star black iron. She should not be a match for Sumo. If Sumo uses heavy hands, he is not a man. Well, I don't think he would. After all, what kind of man is it to bully a girl? This, although I am also a supporter of Taikyo University, isn't it too hypocritical for you to say this? After all, Junior Mo Fan just treated Sumo's close junior like that. Traitor, are you still a member of Taikyo University? You are such a dog. Of course I hope that Qin Yao wins, but, well, I just hope that Sumo will show some mercy. Putting aside the attitudes of the supporters on both sides, Sumo and Qin Yao soon stepped down from the arena. Qin Yao looked at Sumo at this time. Her pretty face was extremely serious, and she said in a very cute way, I won't give up easily. Sumo had a blank expression on his face, and said in a faint voice, stop talking nonsense and do it. On the opposite side, Qin Yao frowned and pouted. This person is so rude. She stopped talking immediately, and green water gushed out from her body. Another special recruit of the elemental class. Advertisement. The green water flow is Qin Yao's special ability, the S-level water element Xuanxin heavy water. Not only does it have some healing effects, it can also attack enemies. The green water stream weighs 1,000 pounds. The stronger the spiritual energy, the heavier it will be. Call out. Controlling the water flow, Qin Yao's jade finger immediately pointed at Sumo, and the Xuanxin heavy water immediately formed a palm-sized water column and shot out. The air was pierced wherever it passed, and even ordinary black iron 9-star awakeners might not be able to escape. However, in Sumo's eyes, this was as slow as a dog. He turned his head to avoid it and said coldly, this is the power. It's really useless. The words fell. Qin Yao's face was filled with anger. How can you say that? Sumo shrugged. What else? A power that can't hit anyone is nothing but trash. Why treat it as a treasure, sister? Sharp words fell again. Qin Yao, who had never argued with anyone, was so angry that her pretty face turned red. She hesitated for a long time and didn't know how to respond. You're so annoying. Avon's personality is much better than yours, huh? After forcing out such a sentence, she shouted and rushed towards Sumo, with schwenching heavy water surrounding her body. A green sword appeared in her hand at some point. In less than 10 seconds, Qin Yao had already moved close to Sumo, and was restrained by the flow of schwenching heavy water. She stabbed Sumo's chest with the sword in her hand. Wow, he looked silly and cute, but when he attacked, he was not silly at all, he even knew how to stab the weak points. Oink oink. But no matter how she used her supernatural powers and sword, she couldn't touch any corner of Sumo's clothes. Sumo dodged with a graceful figure, and chuckled, can you use a little more strength? The frivolous words were spoken once again. Qin Yao was so angry that her beautiful eyes turned red and her attack became more fierce. But even so, he was still fooled by Sumo, and all his attacks failed. Shaking his head, Sumo lightly lifted his right foot, too useless. After saying that, he kicked the girl hard in the chest. Bang! Ah! With a delicate cry, Qin Yao and her sword flew backwards and fell heavily to the ground. The girl breathed with difficulty, and blood immediately flowed from the corner of her mouth. On the podium of Taikyo University, Mo Fan stood up suddenly. His handsome face was as dark as the bottom of a pot, and he gritted his teeth. Sumo. Chapter 94. Excuse me, who are you? Why are you asking me to wait? At this moment, Mo Fan's handsome face, which was once calm and confident, had turned ashen. If Sumo was teasing Qin Yao just now, he could still tolerate it, but he couldn't tolerate this kick. No one could tolerate having their beloved woman kicked away like this. But he never thought about how Sumo could bear it when he treated Cheng Wushang like that. At this moment, Mo Fan had a murderous look on his face, and the nine heavens thunder on his body seemed to be about to explode. Looking at Sumo on the field, he wished he could rush down right now and crush him to death. Zhou Qianyuan looked at him and murmured, if I had known this would happen, why would I have been so cruel before? Of course, she didn't dare to say this loudly. After all, Mo Fan was the head student, and he was very angry now, so she decided not to say anything more. But when she looked at Sumo, she was also shocked. This senior student Su really can distinguish between good and evil. He is very protective and gentle towards those close to him, but if you provoke him, I'm sorry, he will be extremely cruel. For example, that kick just now landed directly on senior sister Chin's chest. It must have been very painful, right? But this kind of Sumo is also very charming. Much more handsome than those hypocrites who fall for women. Sitting in the main chair on the Tianzi platform, Wan Tianlu's face was full of helplessness. The older generation would not interfere in the fight between the young guys, but it was also very uncomfortable to see them like this. But that's how people are. It's impossible for everyone in the world to be one family and live in harmony. There will inevitably be conflicts all the time. Well, he shook his head and decided to let these young people solve the problem themselves, as long as their lives were not in danger. On the stage belonging to the Qin family, a middle-aged man with a square face frowned. Yaoer. This person is none other than the current patriarch of the Qin family, one of the big shots in Dijing City, an extraordinary and powerful man, Qin Jingtian. As a father, he was of course very angry when he saw his daughter being kicked away by Sumo like this. But the rules are there, and there is nothing we can do about it. In the last match when Mo Fan faced Cheng Wushang, Feng Xiaoyao from Magic City University did not try to stop him. If he had done so, it would not have been good. Well, it can only be left to Xiao Fanzi to solve. But he thought so, but the rest of the Qin family didn't think so. Most people dote on their little princess, but now they see her being hurt so badly. How can I bear this? Damn it, how dare Sumo treat the young lady like this? I really want to beat him to death now. I have watched the young lady grow up, and I have never seen her suffer so much. This Sumo, huffs and puffs, it s me off. As the eldest son of the Qin family and Qin Yao's brother, Qin Feng looked even more gloomy. Sumo. Advertisement. Shut up. Looking at the people who were cursing, Qin Jingtian said with dignity, this is a martial arts competition. I am not as skilled as others, so I can only endure it. Yaoer has been protected by you since she was a child and has never experienced setbacks. Do you think it's good? It's good that she has encountered such a blow now. The flowers in the greenhouse should grow up. Having said that, one can still see a hint of distress in the corner of this majestic man's eyes. Besides, the eyes of the audience at this moment, looking at the main screen, were wider than each other. They were having fun but suddenly got hit like this, which was something they didn't expect. And it was such a hard kick that I even coughed up blood. FK. This Sumo is not a man. Such a cute girl can be so violent, he is too straight, isn't he? The most important thing is that he kicked me in the chest. This is really a hooligan. Bah, top of the preliminary list. You have no manners at all, and you're still at the top of the list. As soon as the keyboard warriors came to their senses, they immediately started to curse Sumo, saying that they were a bunch of guys who couldn't stand when they saw a woman. The normal audience remained silent. They will not comment on Sumo's behavior, nor are they qualified to comment. On the competition stage, ahem. After a burst of severe coughing, Xin Yao finally struggled to stand up slowly. She gritted her teeth and insisted on standing up even though her chest was in pain. Looking at Xin Yao standing up, Sumo said in surprise, "Can you still stand up? You have good willpower." The force of his kick is absolutely unbearable for anyone below the Silver Realm. Those who should fall have fallen, of course, that's already been considered mercy. And in his estimation, with Xin Yao's physical condition, she would definitely not be able to stand up again. Even if he used a little more force, he would definitely be kicked to pieces. Sumo was indeed surprised that he could stand up now. I won't be defeated that easily. After struggling to utter these words, Xin Yao attacked again with great effort. But the speed is obviously much slower. Even maintaining the Xuanxin heavy water is a bit difficult. She had just finally arrived in front of Sumo and had no time to swing her sword. Swish. Sumo's light kick came again, this time, kicking the abdomen. As for the force, it has also been greatly weakened. If it doesn't decrease, the little sister will die. Advertisement. Although he was angry, the kick before him was enough, and the injury he suffered would be more serious than that of Cheng Wushang. Bang. The girl flew out again and fell to the ground. Rumble. Sumo. 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 Sitting on the stage at Taikyo University, Mo Fan's face was extremely ugly, and his teeth were chattering. The nine sky heavenly thunder in his body could no longer be suppressed and erupted violently. This caused the specially recruited students near him to quickly jump aside and look at him with fear. Coming to the system equipment, Mo Fan turned on the communication system and said in an extremely cold tone, "Sumo, wait." The tone was murderous and cold as an ice cave, causing many awakened people with lower cultivation to shudder. It seems that Sumo really p******** D off Mo Fan. On the fighting stage, Sumo laughed when he heard this voice. Gas. That's right. He looked up in the direction of the Taikyo University's Tianzi platform and chuckled, "Excuse me, who do you think you are that you asked me to wait?" Although the sound is small, it is completely transmitted to everyone's ears through the reception effect of the main screen. Including Mo Fan who was sitting on the stage. Quote. Hiss, whoosh. Hearing this, Mo Fan took a deep breath and forced himself to suppress his anger. The nine heavens thunder on his body was completely extinguished, and the murderous aura gradually subsided. How long has it been since anyone dared to talk to him like this? In his previous life, the grass on the grave of the person who spoke to him like this had grown and withered, and then grown again, right? Even in this life, anyone who spoke to him like this would have been sent to the infirmary with broken bones. Sumo. Oh, no matter how special your existence is, I hope you can still be this crazy when you get to the arena. At this moment, in his heart, Sumo has been marked on the death list. That's right. It's inevitable death. If anyone dared to touch the woman Mo Fan loved, beating him to a pulp would be a mercy. Only death could ease the pain in his heart. Seeing that Mo Fan could actually remain silent, Sumo couldn't help but secretly marvel at it. He immediately felt a little bored, walked over to Xin Yao who was still struggling to get up, looked down and said with a smile, "Surrender." Chapter 95 I won't let it go. You surrender. With a faint chuckle, Xin Yao's delicate body trembled noticeably, and she looked up at the pair of cold eyes. She gritted her teeth, said nothing, and struggled to stand up. At this moment, Mo Fan's voice was heard again. In contrast to the murderous tone before, it was very gentle. Yao, surrender, I will leave him to me. His tone was gentle, yet confident. Sumo shrugged and said jokingly, "Did you hear that? Your small body is indeed not strong enough for me to kick you a few times. Next time, just let that idiot kick you. You don't have to force yourself. Don't talk about Avon like that. Avon is much more powerful than you. Don't think you are great just because you are a silver awakener." Hearing Sumo scolding her beloved, Xin Yao immediately became excited. Humph. And I will never surrender to someone like you. Oh, really? With a curled mouth, Sumo immediately reached out and grabbed the girl's white neck, strangling her whole body into the air. Tisk tisk, this white and tender neck should be able to make a more beautiful sound than that internet celebrity-faced ghost, right? What a pity, what a pity, this is a freshman competition, if it were outside, I would really like to listen. This move of his shocked many powerful men on the spot, and a terrifying aura enveloped them. Especially Wan Tianlu and Qin Jingtian, their momentum suppressed Sumo. This is life-threatening and must be paid attention to. Feng Xiaoyao looked helpless. This kid. He knew Sumo, who was definitely not the kind of person who would do things without thinking. This move was probably just meant to be playful. Being suppressed by the might of the powerful king and unable to move, Sumo couldn't help but curl his lips. Really, at the freshman competition, with these big guys around, no one will be allowed to die. Of course, he didn't have this intention. It was enough for him to let Mo Fan experience the pain of being bullied by someone close to him. As for Qin Yao being wronged, isn't Cheng Wushang wronged? Advertisement. Sumo admitted that he was not a true gentleman and could not be so magnanimous and tolerant when someone close to him was treated like that. Thinking of this, Sumo immediately smiled and said, "Don't get excited, seniors. I just want to send Qin Shuimei off the arena. She won't surrender if she looks like this. Do you want me to injure her so badly that she can't move at all? The words fell. Many neutral spectators present couldn't help but roll their eyes. You've beaten this girl so badly that she can't even get up, okay. While they were complaining, they were also shocked. The moment Sumo grabbed Qin Yao's neck just now, their hearts skipped a beat, thinking that Sumo was going to kill them. How cruel. Wan Tianlu and the others' momentum subsided a little, but they still kept their eyes on him. If anything goes wrong, restrain it immediately. Shaking his head, Sumo grabbed Qin Yao's hand and threw it away. Yes, he threw it away. Then, the girl flew out in a parabola like a torn sack. This place is still hundreds of meters away from the arena, so let's not be impressed by Sumo's strength and accuracy. Just to say that if Qin Yao fell to the ground, she would definitely feel uncomfortable. Sitting on the stage, Mo Fan's defense was broken again, and his face changed drastically. Yao. Many viewers closed their eyes, unable to bear watching this scene. Of course, Qin Jingtian couldn't help it in the end. No matter how fair he was, he had to watch his daughter fall to the ground like this. No one can stand it. There was no expression of joy or anger on his face. When Qin Yao was about to fall, he used his own aura to drag her and slowly let her down. Seeing this, Sumo shrugged and looked at the referee, who quickly responded. Qin Yao fell out of the court. Modu University Sumo wins. Snap, snap, snap. Suddenly, Sumo's supporters applauded enthusiastically. Cool. It's really cool that my brother Mo is not swayed by women. It feels good, look at how nervous Mo Fan was just now. It feels so good. Let's see if he dares to treat others like this again. Advertisement. I don't care what Susu does, as long as he wins, I'm happy. Master Sumo is a gentle person. He is acting like this because he is irritated. Mo Fan should really reflect on his own behavior. On the podium of Taikyo University, Mo Fan gritted his teeth as he watched Qin Yao being treated. The awakened person who was treating her sighed and said, she probably won't be able to compete in the next 2 days. Although it's not a life-threatening injury, there is a slight crack in her sternum. Fortunately, it's not too serious. She just needs to continue the treatment for a few days. Wan Tianlu looked at Mo Fan, who was full of murderous intent, and sighed, little Fan, I don't know why you were so uncharacteristic towards that kid from Magic City University, but you still need to hold back. You and Sumo are the 2 best young people of this year, and we old guys don't want you to be so hostile. Taking a deep breath, Mo Fan shook his head and said, Principal, I admit that I did have selfish motives in doing that before, but I have done it. I don't want to make excuses, but Sumo and I will not let this go easily. I will not let him off easily in the next duel. Hearing this decisive tone, Wan Tianlu sighed. It had only been a short time since Xiao Fanzi and Sumo met when such a big conflict arose. Why does it feel like it was destined by God? I thought that when the two met, it would be a scene of geniuses admiring each other. Now it seems that it has developed into such a fierce relationship, alas. On the other hand, Sumo also returned to the top position in Magic City University. Seeing Sumo coming up, Feng Xiaoyao said helplessly, Xiao Su, you were too harsh. After this incident, Imperial University may not have any reaction. Senior Wan and others are quite open-minded. Qin Jingtian's character will not do anything out of line, but I can't guarantee that the rest of the Qin family will not cause trouble for you privately. Sumo looked at Feng Xiaoyao and asked, Principal, does that mean that Wu Shang should be bullied like that? Or should those of us without family background just endure it? As soon as he finished speaking, Feng Xiaoyao's handsome face immediately turned serious. Who said you don't have a home? Magic City University is your home. If they dare to make any small moves, my Magic City University will never let them go. Sumo felt warm in his heart when he heard this. As expected, in Feng Xiaoyao's heart, he and others were still the most important. Shangguan Qinghong stepped forward and patted Sumo on the shoulder, grinning domineeringly. If the Qin family dares to make any small moves, don't bother the school, my Shangguan family will be the first to kill them. Although the Qin family is also an ancient family in Dijing City, it is still not as powerful as their Shangguan family. If you want to play, the Shangguan family doesn't mind letting you know what will happen if you mess with their son-in-law. Yan Yun smiled and said, if they dare to touch my brother, the Yan family will rush to Dijing City the next day. Although she said it with a smile, the protectiveness and coldness in her tone made Feng Xiaoyao's mouth twitch involuntarily. Girl, if your Yan family mobilizes all their forces, it will no longer be a matter of protecting or not protecting one's own people, but a war between the two cities. Chapter 96. The Thief Ning Kiki, Referee I Surrender. After this competition, the atmosphere on the scene became noticeably subtle. Of course, the tension between the people of Magic City University and Taikyo University was 10 times stronger because of Sumo and Mo Fan. At the scene, supporters of both sides began to quarrel with each other, neither of them convinced by the other. Especially in the major government live broadcast rooms, people from both the Imperial City and the Demon City started to post comments directly. Start arguing. Rubbish. Is this all Taikyo University is? Are you calling me? Beating a woman is great. Or is it that Sumo only knows how to beat women? Humph. You guys at Taikyo University are just a bunch of losers who think with your lower body. You're a loser. Just wait and see. If Sumo jumps out first, he will definitely be beaten up by junior brother Mo Fan. Our junior brother Mo Fan has only revealed a part of his strength so far, and he can already suppress the Silver Realm. After he bursts out with all his strength and uses his second ability to quickly heal himself, what will Sumo do? Just because he bullies a first-level monster, you think you're so awesome. Ha ha ha. Did your son really not understand, or is he pretending not to know? Let me tell you, when Brother Mo abused Mo Fan, he would beat his son like a father. He would hang him up and beat him. Do you believe it? Do I believe you? You be asterisk 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 D. Waste. Rubbish. Comma comma. In the live broadcast room, people on both sides were swearing at each other. Of course, they were all hot-blooded young people arguing with each other. A small number of people are still posting comments rationally. Soon, the second game of the second round of Magic City University began. The one who came on the field was Li Tianyi, and the other one was the top student of a key university, a genius with A-level talent. Several senior students who knew Li Tianyi immediately encouraged him. Come on, Li. Come on. Sumo and others also looked at him and encouraged him. After all, they are all teammates in this competition, so we should cheer them up. I'm on it. Nodding, Li Tianyi immediately stepped onto the psychic levitation device. After a while, he started fighting with the genius whose superpower was A-level speed. Although his shadow mysterious thunder is not the ultimate destructive thunder element like Mo Fan, it is also very powerful and strange and changeable. In addition, his cultivation is greater than that of the speed-type genius, and all these factors combined. So in less than 3 minutes, he put a knife to the opponent's neck and won the game, scoring another point for Magic City University. In the third game, I was matched with Marong Z. Her opponent is a strong enemy. It turned out to be the second-ranked special admission student of Zhongnan University, Mu Zion, a variant of the S-level element, the cloud element. He was on par with Marong Z, having reached the Black Iron 6-star cultivation level, or even a bit deeper. Advertisement. The fight between the two women instantly became the focus. On the main screen, two women stood far apart. Both of them were the kind of taciturn ice beauties, and the next moment, they started fighting. This Miss Marong Z seems to be the granddaughter of Senior Bingalan King Marong. So he really inherited the ice element. Or a mutant one, his talent is amazing. Mu Zion from Zhongnan University is also very strong. How long has it been since the rare supernatural power of cloud element appeared? These monsters are really enviable. Unlike us, we are all CDF level. Even if it is elemental, the growth talent is completely incomparable. It's uncomfortable. Wow, are you guys so serious? This is a battle between two goddesses. As an LSP, shouldn't the focus be on? Lousy feels uncomfortable if he doesn't look at beautiful women for a day. Do you need to tell me? I am just observing and analyzing at the same time, you know. Yes, I understand. Comma comma. As the two women were fighting, some LSPs immediately jumped out. While analyzing, his eyes were looking somewhere inappropriate. After a while, the arena was filled with purple ice and white clouds were flowing and gushing. Marong Z was breathing heavily, with sweat dripping down his forehead, but the sword in his hand was pointing directly at Mu Zion's white throat. If it's 1 millimeter off, blood will be seen. Holding the sword firmly, Marong Z said coldly, you lose. After saying that, he turned and left. Mu Zion, who was standing on the ground, bit her teeth unwillingly and withdrew her cloud element. Modu University, Marong Zisheng. As the referee finished speaking, warm applause broke out from the audience, and the audience looked at Marong Z, filled with emotion. In this competition, Marong Z's cultivation was indeed much lower, but her combat experience was far superior to Mu Zion's. It can be said that if the former's combat experience was weaker, the result would be hard to predict. But it was thanks to his more sophisticated combat experience that he ultimately won the competition, so his talent was indeed greater. Back at the stage, Marong Z suddenly looked at Sumo with her beautiful eyes. Thank you, if it weren't for your sparring with us during those few days, we would never have improved so much. These things are too important when fighting against opponents of the same level. Although her face was still cold, her tone was sincere. Looking at her, Sumo chuckled and said, you guys worked hard too, defeating a strong enemy and getting another point for our Magic City University. Not bad. Hearing this, a hint of excitement flashed in the girl's beautiful eyes. After practicing with her for a few days, she knew how demanding this senior was. She didn't even realize that she was getting praise from this person, and she was secretly delighted. But then she shook her head shyly and walked back to her seat. The fourth match that followed was also quickly matched. Look at the big screen. Everyone was stunned, and Ning Kiki's face turned even paler. Advertisement. Magic City University vs. Taikyo University. Ning Kiki vs. Mo Fan. Wow, am I so unlucky? Ning Kiki's little face was wrinkled into a bun and she let out a cry of pain. Everyone looked at her. Shangguan Qinghong. Kiki, please surrender. Yi Xiaoshui. Remember, shout as soon as your feet touch the ground. Ji Yuchen also smiled and said, that mad dog must hate Junior Su to death now. Junior sister, you better take care of yourself. Comma comma. Seeing everyone say this, Ning Kiki turned to look at Sumo. Senior, what do you think? Do you want to give me some advice? Quote. Looking at the girl, Sumo stood up, patted her shoulders, and said seriously, lose. Ning Kiki's pretty face froze. He subconsciously looked at his chest and immediately shuddered. Stepping onto the psychic levitation device, the little girl looked ready to die. Her figure was reflected on the main screen, and on the other side was Mo Fan with a cold face. People from Magic University. Standing on the psychic device, Mo Fan showed a sneer. Since things have gotten to this point with Sumo, there's no need to be polite anymore. Although it is unmannerly, as long as it can provoke Sumo, he will be just as good at beating a woman. In the audience, Junior Mo Fan, kill her in seconds. That's how we can get rid of the anger from the last fight. What seconds? Just kick her. Damn it, I'm still mad at Sumo. How pitiful. Another lovely little girl is going to suffer. What's there to be pitied about? Things have changed. Whatever Sumo did in the last game, it will all come back to me. Haha, I'm excited. Some supporters of Taikyo University immediately howled and looked at Ning Kiki, extremely excited. However, I surrender. Referee, I surrender. Ning Kiki, who was in midair, had just jumped off the suspension device and had not yet touched the ground, was shouting in a cute manner. Mo Fan looked at her in disbelief. Don't you want to fight for your own university at all? Ning Kiki curled her lips. Do you think I'm as stupid as Chin Yao? I know myself well. Mo Fan's face suddenly turned dark. Chapter 97. Leaving, the existence of the top 5. Pointing at Ning Kiki, Mo Fan became furious and veins bulged on his forehead. This stinky little sister, why doesn't she play by the rules? You surrender before you even land. Where is your ambition? Where is your pride? Grass. For a moment, the anger that had been brewing for a long time seemed to be hit on cotton, as if he had eaten a fly, it was so uncomfortable. In the audience who were excited by the wolf howls were stunned, and their throats stopped abruptly as if they were strangled. Everyone stared at the main screen with wide eyes, and saw Ning Kiki, who looked so matter-of-fact and adorable. This little girl looks harmless, even a little innocent, but why does she feel? It seems that she is smarter than Chin Yao. Ha ha ha, these sisters are so cute. Goddess Coco, you did a great job. That's right, we good women don't fight with men, ha 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 ha. I'm so angry. Mo Fan is so angry. Hey, brothers who were howling wolves, why aren't you howling? It's so quiet, I'm not used to it. My friend, we can't even fight. They definitely can't make any trouble. You can yell, isn't it wonderful to roar helplessly? Great. Seeing that the group of guys who had been shouting the loudest just now stopped shouting, Sumo's supporters, with their mouths filled with honey, started to speak to each other in a sarcastic tone, which made the supporters in Taikyo City so angry that they gritted their teeth. Even though I won, I was still ridiculed. It's so uncomfortable. On the arena, the referee was also confused. Ning Kiki should be the one who surrenders the fastest in this competition, right? However, he glanced at Mo Fan's face, which had turned black with anger, and nodded in understanding. Little girl, uncle applauds your rationality. Ning Kiki from Magic City University surrenders, and Mo Fan from Imperial Capital University wins. Ning Kiki couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief when she heard the announcement. She then looked at Mo Fan and said enviously, Senior Mo, congratulations to Taikyo University for getting another point. It seems that except for senior sister Chin Yao, Taikyo University has won all the games so far. Unlike our Modu University, which has lost 2 games, we should be ranked lower. After saying that, he jumped onto the suspension device, shaking his head, and flew back to the Tianzi platform. Meanwhile, Mo Fan stood there with veins on his forehead bulging again and again. The finger pointing at Ning Kiki trembled again, his breathing became disordered, and he almost vomited blood. Advertisement. You stinky sister, if you surrender, can you just get out of here? What nonsense. In the end, he could only bear it and went back with an unhappy look on his face. When Ning Kiki returned to the podium, everyone gave her a thumbs up. The little girl was immediately furious. What are you doing? I lost. I'm feeling miserable. You guys are so annoying. She stamped her feet and sat back in her seat angrily. Shangguan Qinghong grinned and looked at her. No. Although you lost, you also won. Ning Kiki looked unhappy. How did I win? You are such a clever little guy, you are good at playing tricks on people. You made Mo Fan so angry. Then, won't it be easier for my brother-in-law to play against that guy next time? You have made a huge contribution to the team, so it counts as a win. Yi Xiaoshui and the others covered their mouths to hold back their laughter, and looked at the girl with nods in agreement. Ning Kiki looked silly when she heard that. I didn't think that much. I was really scared to death and couldn't wait to surrender. And I really know myself. Does this count as contributing to the team? Shangguan Qinghong nodded heavily. Great. Suddenly, the little girl came out of her extreme sadness and looked secretly happy. At this time, most of the preliminaries had already passed and the sky was gradually darkening. With tens of thousands of universities competing at the same time, even if there are only 20 games, one day is simply not enough time. Look, from morning to nightfall, most schools have just finished the first round. At this time, the old referee stepped into the sky again and said in a loud voice, "Today's competition ends here. The preliminaries will continue tomorrow morning." After the conversation was over, the audience looked as if they were still not satisfied and were reluctant to leave. "It's so uncomfortable. I'm enjoying the show, are you going to leave now? You are enjoying yourself, but the students are tired." "That's right, it seems I can only go back and watch the replay." Soon, all the major schools that were competing finished their last game. They all prepared to leave. Sitting in their own areas waiting for arrangements by government officials, students from some universities looked delighted. They were all discussing their own battles, naturally because of their impressive records. And those universities that all suffered defeats remained silent, with their heads down, waiting to leave. It was so realistic. Cheng Wushang is now able to stand up and walk on his own again. I believe that after another night, he will be able to participate in tomorrow's competition. On the other hand, Qin Yao from Taikyo University still needs someone to support her. As for tomorrow's main competition, forget it. Advertisement. Such a contrast made Mo fans' eyes filled with murderous intent again. After a while, all the audience left and it was their respective universities' turn to leave. As luck would have it, the people from Magic City University and Taikyo University met at the exit of a passage. For a moment, the atmosphere was extremely subtle and tense. Mo Fan stared at Sumo with eyes as cold as ice, but he didn't say anything harsh. But one look was enough to tell it all. Sumo curled his lips. He really wanted to use Conqueror's move to rush over, but it was difficult to do so with Senior Wan and Feng Xiaoyao here. During the freshman competition, the government stipulated that no unauthorized fighting was allowed outside the venue. Once discovered, the contestant would be immediately disqualified. But no matter what, everyone knows that there will be a battle between Sumo and Mo Fan. It's not just about settling grudges, it also determines the top spot. Half an hour later, everyone returned to Shungshan Hotel. The government had made all preparations for them. Bathing, dining, fatigue treatment and other services are all done to the best of their ability. While everyone was enjoying food and other services, the results and post-event analysis of today's competition were also reported by various media. The major commentators took the competition videos and began to analyze the strength rankings of each university and the dazzling dark horses. Just the list of the top 10 freshmen received hundreds of billions of clicks. On the list, there are 5 people firmly on the list at this moment. First place, Magic City University, Sumo. It was marked as the pre-selected favorite for the top spot, received a lot of likes, and the comments were full of admiration and love. The second place, of course, was Mo Fan from Taikyo University, second only to Sumo. Under the comments, millions of people felt that he could beat Sumo across levels, because the performance of Ultimate Thunder made most people so sure, and felt that it was more shocking than Sumo's performance in the 2 competitions. Third place, Wulin University, Lin Yaoan, his cultivation level is as high as Black Iron 8 stars. In both competitions, the opponents were defeated instantly. The S-level mutant elements and the flowing clouds and fierce fire were extremely terrifying. Fourth place, Zhongzhou University, Li Yanchang, was the boy in the red jacket who provoked Sumo as soon as he got off the fighter plane. He is an awakened beastman, a blood dragon beastman with a trace of dragon energy, and has the cultivation level of Black Iron 8 stars. Together with Cheng Wushang, they are hailed as the 2 most talented beastmen among the new students. The 5th place is a girl from Zhongnan University, named Tan Tai Xiaozan, the daughter of an ancient family. The S-level special superpower is actually the virtual soul of a spear, an ability born for practicing with spear. In both competitions, he performed heroically and killed his opponents in seconds with the spear. These 5 people are the objects of extreme media attention and are extremely popular. Of course, the most popular one is still the one on the hot list. The feud between Sumo and Mo Fan. Everyone is talking about it with great interest, and they are looking forward to the clash between the 2 tomorrow. Who will win or lose in the competition between the 2 top preliminary candidates? Let's wait and see. Chapter 98 is here, the real focus battle. Early the next morning, the city of Imperial Capital was once again filled with an extremely lively atmosphere. Even some audiences from other cities who didn't have tickets came to Taikyo overnight. In their words, even though I can't get into the Qingtian Shengwu stage, watching the live broadcast outside is better than watching it at home. Well, so everyone rushed to the Imperial Capital City, and it was dozens of times more lively than yesterday. Inside the Qingtian Shengwu stage, the audience had already taken their seats early. Still the same position as yesterday, still the same person as yesterday. The universities are also ready and waiting for the unfinished qualifiers. Wait until the old referee announces the start. Soon, the matching system continued to work. On the stage of Mudu University, the result of the 5th match was announced. It's my turn. Yang Shang stood up from his chair, walked towards the psychic equipment with his thin body, and had a gloomy look on his face. His opponents were students from Zhongzhou University. Fortunately, they were the 3A level talented students who were recommended to make up the numbers. Still an easy win. Moreover, after practicing with Sumo during this period, Yang Shang has become more proficient in using his demon arm. In a short while, he cornered his opponent and defeated him. It was very easy and another point was scored for Magic City University. Back at the podium, he nodded to Sumo and sat back in his seat. Yongshang actually admired Sumo very much. After a few days of sparring with him, he was convinced by this senior who was obviously much more talented than himself and others. Now that he won, he naturally wanted to express his gratitude, but due to his personality, nodding was his best expression. In the following competitions, the Magic City University had 5 remaining games, all of which were completed. 4 wins and 1 loss. The one I lost was to Yu Chang, and it was also the last one. He was unlucky as he actually met Tan Tai Shaozan from Zhongnan University. Recognized by the media as the 5th on the freshman list. His cultivation is higher than Yu Chang, and his superpower is a special type of gun soul, which is also stronger than Yu Chang's speed transformation and instant acceleration. Advertisement. Defeat is inevitable. Back on the stage, Yu Chang's pockmarked face was full of self-blame, because if he was counted, their Magic City University would have lost 3 times. As for the other 4 top universities, Dijing, Wulin and Zhongzhou only suffered 1 defeat, while Zhongnan University suffered 2 defeats. Only their Shanghai University has lost 3 times. The most defeated among the 5 universities. Of course, in this qualifying round, most of it still depends on luck, and the subsequent main competition is the key. Looking at him, Sumo smiled and said, "Don't blame yourself. There is nothing to be ashamed of when you meet the strongest person in Zhongnan University." "Well, I will do my best later, Senior Su." Nodding heavily, Yu Chang sat back in his chair. Just at this moment, the old referee rose to midair, glanced at the universities that had returned to their seats, and nodded. Then he pointed to the main screen and announced, "The preliminaries have ended, and the rankings are as follows." You will see the rankings of various universities listed on the main screen. Everyone looked over quickly. Also ranked first are Taikyo University, Wulin University, and Zhongzhou University, with a total of 19 points. The second place is Zhongnan University, and there are even some key universities with 18 points. Because as long as other key universities are strong enough and have good luck not to encounter S-level special recruits, they still have a good chance. Look, these key universities that can get 18 points are all extremely lucky. They are only matched with students with A-level talents of the same level. In addition, their strength is indeed much better than that of other A-level students, so they can get such points. The third array has 17 points, and most of them are also relatively strong key universities. Of course, Shanghai University is also among them. Well, it's quite embarrassing, being surpassed by some key universities. However, if we analyze it based on the battle record, there is no problem with the strength, it's just bad luck. In both the first and second rounds, he met Mo Fan, the top player of Taikyo University. In the last game, I met the top player in Zhongnan University, Tan Tai Shaozan. All 3 games were tough opponents and the defeat was not unfair. Although Magic City University is ranked 3rd, the next step is the main competition. There is no luck involved. It is a test of comprehensive strength. It should surpass those key universities soon. Well, with Sumo here, I feel that Magic City University will still be the final winner. I think so too, because the next step is the individual relay race. First of all, 3 out of the 10 students from Zhongzhou University are recommended students with A-level talents, and their competitiveness has dropped significantly. The same is true for Zhongnan University and Wulin University. Only Taikyo University and Modu University have 10 specially recruited students, and they are the most competitive. Advertisement. I'm looking forward to it. Luck shouldn't be a problem anymore. The 5 top colleges are well matched, and so are the other key universities. This is a true equal competition. Looking at the ranking on the main screen, naturally no one really thinks that Shanghai University is not good. After all, it's just a qualifying round, and luck plays a certain role. What we really need to look at is the subsequent main competitions. It's all a real competition of strength. The old referee immediately announced the next event of the competition, a relay race between universities. They arrange the order of performance, and 10 people take turns to compete. The system also started matching quickly. Among the 5 top universities, 4 must match together. The remaining top university, well, is a match for the strongest key universities, and there are many S-level special recruits. Although there are very few, only 3 or 4, they still exist, and it looks like the 6th top university. After all, not every S-level genius entered the top 5 universities. Some S-level geniuses were specially recruited by key universities. With full care, they would not be much worse than the special recruits from the top 5 universities. On the matching interface on the main screen, results are slowly emerging. The first page is the matching results of the 5 top universities. Wulin University versus Zhongnan University. Zhongzhou University versus Chenyang University. The last one, Magic City University versus Taikyo University. Moment. The entire scene fell silent, with expressions of shock and a hint of weirdness. Magic City University versus Taikyo University again. The 2 most competitive universities are facing off again. This is a real king bomb. The battle between Sumo and Mo Fan, the focal figures in the 2 universities, is the ultimate showdown among all the best. It's no exaggeration to say that it's a heaven-shattering event. On the stage of Taikyo University, Mo Fan took a deep breath, sneered and stood up. I'll be the first one to go up, so we don't waste time. Seeing that I'm the first one to go up, Sumo will definitely go up as well. On the other side, seeing the fate of Mo Fan, Sumo grinned, with a strange expression, and immediately stood up. Chapter 99. Still want to cross the level. Seeing Sumo stand up, Cheng Wushang and others were all stunned. Sumo shrugged and grinned, I can't help it. If the other side wants to play big, I'll have to go up and accompany him. Facing Mo Fan, the rest of the people would be defeated in vain, and the same would happen to the rest of the people from Taikyo University facing him. Perhaps only Mo Fan had some hidden cards and could jump a few times. Cheng Wushang. Come on, brother Mo, let that guy see what the difference is. Damn it, little Mo Fan dares to challenge brother Mo and even wants to cross levels. Is he awake from his dream? Ning Kiki pouted her lips, encouraged her arms, and cheered. Senior, you are the best, keep going. Sitting in the main chair, Feng Xiaoyao chuckled and looked directly at Sumo. Be careful, that guy knows your situation and still dares to challenge you like this, which means he is fearless. Although his second ability is fast self-healing, the specific effect seems to be unclear, and it still poses a certain threat, so don't be careless. I know. Nodding, Sumo immediately stepped onto the psychic device with a meaningful smile on his face. Are you pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger? I like. At this time, after the initial shock, when people saw the two figures appear on the main screen, many people's hearts skipped a beat, their faces flushed, and they stood up excitedly, staring at the main screen with wide eyes. Is it really a sky-shattering explosion? What the hell? Is it so exciting? There's no need to test it, it just starts with a bang. Sumo vs. Mo Fan is definitely the pinnacle battle of this freshman competition. Come on, Junior Mo Fan. Kill that damn Sumo. WCNM is more like it. Black Iron 9 stars are fighting against silver level Junior Sumo, you still think it's you, a rubbish silver with a lousy talent. Stupid thing, go home and sleep. You, Sumo, only have one ability, while junior brother Mo Fan has two. How great is it that you are ahead in the early stages? You will definitely be overtaken in the later stages. What a rubbish. Brothers and sisters, I bet that Lord Sumo can hang that Mo Fan up and beat him. +1. The audience seats were in a state of complete excitement, with noise, shouting, and quarreling going on non-stop. But at this moment on the arena, the two people who landed were very quiet, looking directly at each other. To be exact, it should be Mo Fan looking coldly at Sumo, while Sumo looked relaxed and casual. Seeing Sumo's expression, Mo Fan smiled. You seem very confident facing me. Here it comes, the damn confidence of the reborn. Complaining inwardly, Sumo nodded and smiled. Well, it's no problem to torture you. Do you want me to suppress my cultivation? Advertisement. Haha, that's not necessary. I've beaten too many Silver Realm warriors, so I'm used to jumping levels. With the corners of his mouth slightly raised, Mo Fan twisted his neck, making a loud gurgling sound, and then looked at Sumo again. I hope you can still be so confident when you can't stand up anymore. Are you used to crossing levels? Well, very pretentious. He is worthy of being the son of luck. He is quite good at pretentiousness. With his hands behind his back, Sumo said kindly, Come, I'll wait for you to cross the level. Rumble. The moment he finished speaking, 9 heaven sky thunder gushed out from outside Mo Fan's body, spreading over a distance of 10 meters around him. The next moment, bang, he took a step and came in front of Sumo. His right fist was filled with violent thunder and hit Sumo's face hard. The terrifying aura carried by this punch has already surpassed the scope of the Black Iron realm. Even silver 3 or 4 star awakeners may not be able to take it, not to mention the speed that is so fast that it makes people suffocate. In the blink of an eye, the distance between Mo Fan's thunder fist and Sumo's handsome face was less than 10 centimeters. However, bang, a slender palm steadily took the punch. Sumo remained motionless, smiling softly. Anything else? Feeling the terrifying grip of his thunder fist, Mo Fan frowned. What terrifying physical strength. This Sumo. He didn't even use any psychic power or supernatural powers, relying solely on his physical strength and the energy and blood in his body. Just took his punch that was powerful enough to severely injure a silver 5-star awakener. How is this possible? During this month, he relied on the 9 heavens thunder and the bodybuilding method he created in his previous life. He constantly used thunder to stimulate every cell in his body, and then used the mysterious second superpower to assist him. His physical strength improved by leaps and bounds, far surpassing all the silver awakeners. Below gold, it was enough to sweep away everything. But at this moment, he actually felt the thrilling surge of energy from Sumo's grip. Far beyond him. Why should he? How could he possess such a body? With his special attacking ability, it's impossible for him to do that, right? Puzzled, Mo Fan began to punch harder and harder, using all his physical strength to surge forward. Advertisement. Sizzle. The terrifying 9 heavens sky thunder also spread madly to Sumo's body. However, before these lightning snakes could touch Sumo's body, they were blocked by a violent fist force. Sumo pinched his fist and activated the violent power of the Tiangong Demon Fist, which turned into invisible ripples and blocked it outside. No matter how wildly the Nine Heavens thunder raged, it could not touch his body. Bang, bang, bang. Sizzle. The two forces continued to collide and confront each other, and a loud roar suddenly broke out within a radius of about 20 meters. It doesn't look like a duel between two low-level awakeners at all. Even a silver awakener can't make such a noise, right? Gulu, I'm at the silver realm, but I feel like if I go up against any of them, I'll definitely get beaten to a pulp. Ha ha ha, my brother Mo is still the best. Look at Mo Fan, he is being held in a fist and can't even move, yet he still wants to jump to a higher level. He can jump by several levels. Humph, why are you so arrogant? You are just relying on your power to suppress Junior Mo Fan. Besides, Junior Mo Fan hasn't fully exploded yet. You are so complacent after just one move. Tisk tisk, who said just now that he was used to leaping levels? Did your dad fail to pretend? What are you pretending to be, you son of ABCH? You, comma. The crowd at the scene was very excited. Seeing this collision of just one move, they were so excited that they went see. Supporters on both sides began to criticize each other. In the center of the arena, thunder was raging, fists were flying vertically and horizontally, and two figures were frozen there, motionless. With his left hand clenched into a fist, Sumo looked at Mo Fan, a smile on his face, and chuckled. Let me ask you, is there anything else? It was just a light remark, although it was just a chuckle. But it was 6 points of dominance, 3 points of ease, and 1 point of disdain. Mo Fan's body trembled, and he stared at Sumo's handsome face, his expression becoming dazed. Pressure. It's been a long time since I felt the pressure, a pressure that I have never experienced in my past or present life. After taking a deep breath, Mo Fan's mouth suddenly curled up, revealing a hint of madness. I, Mo Fan, admit that you are indeed very strong. You are the first person who has made me feel so much pressure so far. You are qualified. Bang. Before he finished speaking, Sumo's left hand, which was clenched into a fist, and a violent Tiangong Demon Fist hit Mo Fan's abdomen directly, and his whole body bent into a shrimp shape. Wow. His eyes widened, a mouthful of blood spurted out, and he flew backwards. Clapping his hands, Sumo curled his lips. Are you still pretending to be a cup? Are you used to jumping levels? You are eating shit. Chapter 100. The fists are over, the knives are over, is there anything else? Avon. On the podium of Taikyo University, one could see Mo Fan vomiting blood after being hit by this heavy punch. Xin Yao exclaimed, stood up, and almost fell to the ground because of her injuries, her little face full of worry. It was the first time she saw Avon in such a mess. How is that possible? Her Avon was clearly the strongest, and he could easily win even when facing a powerful Silver Realm senior. That confident posture and sense of security have always been deeply engraved in her heart. The next moment, the girl seemed to have thought of something and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Avon has hidden his cultivation, and with his second ability, it's okay. Xin Yao murmured softly. Although she was comforting herself in this way, her beautiful eyes were still full of worry when she saw Mo Fan falling to the ground. Zhou Qianyuan, who was sitting next to her, had a look of annoyance on her face. Sure enough, Senior Mo still can't beat Senior Sumo. They are both the strongest pervert monsters, and it is still difficult for them to cross the level. Hearing this, Xin Yao glared at her angrily. Are you still a student of Taikyo University? Who said Avon can't beat that Sumo? Wait and see, when Avon gets serious, he will definitely beat that Sumo. Zhou Qianyuan curled her lips. Then what? Was he beaten to the point of vomiting blood again? It's true that she is the proud daughter of Taikyo University, but so what? I admire Senior Sumo, but it has nothing to do with the school's honor. This naive woman is so simple. Being refuted to the point where she had no words to reply, Xin Yao could only be angry inwardly, but when she thought of Avon's true cultivation and strength, I felt a lot better inside. Snort. No matter what you say, wait until Avon unleashes his true strength and slaps you in the face. The little girl thought secretly, and then looked towards the arena worriedly. As for Wan Tianlu, who was sitting in the main chair, he had a helpless look on his face. From his current perspective, based on the strength shown so far, Mo Fan could not defeat Sumo. Although both were very strong and perverted, it was obvious that the latter was more ruthless. As for the reaction of the audience, it was simply one-sided ridicule. Scream. Why aren't you screaming? Didn't you just scream to kill our brother Mo? Humph. What's the big deal? The competition isn't over yet, and everything is still unknown. Yo, are you still being stubborn? Come on, call daddy and let me hear you stop spitting blood. You, don't go too far. What's going on? My brother Mo is beating people up there, and I'm helping him fight the trolls down there. Come on, let's fight back if you don't agree. Quote. Let's talk about the arena. Advertisement. Mo Fan was hit in the abdomen by this heavy punch. Even though he gritted his teeth and stood up, his abdomen still hurt. A mysterious force surged in his body, healing his abdomen and even offsetting the remaining violent punching power of Sumo. Sumo saw this scene and raised his eyebrows. Is it the second superpower of rapid self-healing? It shouldn't be. What exactly is this weird feeling? With his careful perception of the Haki, it was indeed a self-healing white light, but what was going on with this sense of incongruity? System, it shouldn't cost that much to check so closely, right? No need to find out, just know this sense of disharmony. Ding. It will consume 10,000 energy points. Do you want to check? Sumo couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. This price was acceptable. Check it out. In less than a second, the system's voice was heard. Ding. This mysterious power is very hidden under the white light of the simulated self-healing aura. This mysterious power is Mo Fan's second ability, an ability related to life, enough to be ranked among the top S level. Hearing this, Sumo suddenly realized. As expected, Mo Fan's second ability is indeed S level, and seems to be quite powerful. It's a bit unexpected, but also reasonable. Judging from the expressions of the people around him, they definitely thought it was the A-level rapid self-healing that was announced to the public. Quite interesting. Even the powerful king was concealed from the truth. The double S ability also has unknown background. This Mo Fan is indeed the son of luck. At this time, Mo Fan had returned to normal again. His eyes, although solemn, were not panicked. Sumo, I'm very curious, how did you acquire such strength? In a month, with only a single ability, even if you were a top talent in the S level, it is impossible for you to reach such a level. Staring at Sumo, Mo Fan couldn't help but become suspicious. I have double S level abilities, and they are top level S level abilities, plus the experience from my previous life. To possess such strength, Sumo, an S level warrior, was promoted to the Silver Realm. Not to mention, could he really possess such terrifying physical strength and martial arts attainments in just 1 month? Could it be that he encountered the same opportunity as me? Thinking about, a long sword appeared out of thin air in his hand, a dark blue sword with traces of lightning patterns. It turned out to be a mid-level superior quality sword, which was only 1 step away from becoming a divine weapon. Hearing his question, Sumo shrugged. It's just such a monster, there's nothing I can do. But you, a being with dual abilities, haven't even been promoted to silver, you're a bit useless. Although I know that this guy has definitely been promoted to the Silver Realm, isn't he just pretending to be a pig and eating the tiger? A wave of taunting to satisfy you. Hiss, whoosh. Taking a deep breath, Mo Fan suppressed the anger in his body. The long sword in his hand continued to compress the 9 heavens thunder, and then rushed towards Sumo again. Advertisement. With a smile still on his face, the demonic blade Zayu suddenly appeared in Sumo's hand. If fists don't work, how about a knife? I'll satisfy you. A pitch black, more than 2 meters long demon knife Shiei with an ancient blood moon pattern appeared in Sumo's hand. The bloodthirsty aura and sharp edge instantly changed Mo Fan's face as he rushed over. It's clearly a mid-level, top-grade precious sword, but it has attributes. It has more potential than some magical weapons. Hateful. Where did Sumo find such a good knife? He spent a lot of effort to get his Dark Thunder knife. This Sumo directly possesses a quasi-divine weapon. The more he thought about it, the angrier Mo Fan became. With a thunderous and domineering figure, he leapt directly into the air and said, "You are still a little immature when it comes to swordsmanship with me, Sumo." In his previous life, although he majored in the element of thunder, he also paid some attention to swordsmanship. He didn't believe that Sumo's physical strength was stronger than his, and that he could surpass him in swordsmanship. But until Sumo's powerful and heavy sword came, he slashed back. Clang. Sparks flew and a heavy voice was heard. Mo Fan's face changed again and he almost couldn't hold the Dark Thunder blade in his hand. How is this possible? How could a young man possess such flawless sword moves and sword skills? That's it. The first cut won't work. Chuckling, Sumo held the magic knife Shiei in his hand and slashed again with the second of the 9 consecutive slashes of the heavy knife. Afraid of you? Mo Fan sneered and swung his sword to meet the attack again. This time, he used a sword technique that he was proud of, and the thunder suddenly became stronger. Forming a piece of thunder knife lotus to meet Sumo. Unfortunately, facing the second attack, his sword force was broken again and he flew backwards again. The third knife, the tiger's mouth split. The fourth knife hit the abdomen again with the handle. The fifth strike, the shadow knife flew out of his hand, resulting in a miserable defeat. Looking at him, Sumo still smiled lightly. I've finished with fists and knives, what else? Half squatting on the ground, looking at the shadow knife that fell to the side, Mo Fan calmed down. A terrifying aura suddenly burst out from his body. 1 star in the Silver Realm. Silver Realm 2 star. 3 stars in the Silver Realm. It didn't stop until it reached the 5th star of the Silver Realm. In an instant, the place became completely quiet, with one being able to hear a pin drop. Everyone was stunned by his sudden burst of power.